Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to RPG Maker Cola.
Hello, RPG Maker Cola listeners. Welcome to RPG Maker Cola. This is your fizzy, soda-filled source of content for game development opinions that mean very little in the grand scheme of things. It's your favorite RPG Maker podcast, RPG Maker Cola. It's been a while. I'm your host, Benny. This is the place for you. It's a chill space where we get together skilled developers from the RPG Maker community to chat cordially and occasionally non-cordially about game development, game design, and probably a whole bunch of unrelated other stuff too. It's casual, it's cool, it's cola. So today is a very special episode. We talk about how we've had these we had 3 guests on the podcast before, but this is a sort of revisiting of sorts to a game that we've talked about before, and developers that we've seen to see where they've been, how they've been going, and where they will go in future. Sort of a special episode, if you will. And because we've been keeping in light touch over the years since our first podcast episode was released back in 2021. Yes, that's 4 years ago. Time really does fly, and now we're back here again. Reason being that one of the games being talked about was picked up by a publisher in that period of time and released. It is out there. It is ready to play. It is called Beloved Rapture, and it is an amazing indie JRPG inspired by the classics. Beautiful landscapes, turn-based battles, etc. Go buy it now. I have played the game, and I've also decided to invite a guest co-host to this episode who I'll introduce first, and we're bound to have an episode later on. But this is my friend, YouTube creator at large, prolific streamer, lover of retro JRPGs, creator of the incredible game, I'm introducing you, creator of the incredible game DELUGE, fan of skeletons, an owner of a cute dog named Holly, and a cheeky little cat named Larry. It is riggy2k3. Welcome.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of good games, and a lot of people who made some good games are here, so it's really fun to be able to be here and talk about these games. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, I thought I'd get Riggy on the conversation because Riggy also streamed Beloved Rapture, and I felt we'd be able to talk about the game in depth from the point of view of both of us having played the thing in full, so we'll do that later on. But also you've been creating these awesome YouTube videos and stuff, and those have been going viral for several reasons. Yeah. That's another topic indeed. And and since the full-on season 2 of the RPG Maker Cola podcast, I've become really good friends with Riggy, and I felt comfortable just to ask him for a favor for now, just to be here and help me out. So there we go.
Yeah. Thanks.
It's awesome to have you. But first, let me introduce our 3 guests. I actually discovered these 3 guests on as of currently 2025, on hiatus or temporarily defunct site, rpgmaker.net. In the screenshot survival thread and other places. It's sad, that's a whole thing in itself. I'll start with
the gone, guys.
Yeah.
We got to get over it. It's gone. It's never coming back.
Survive.
We'll bring it back. Yeah. I'll start by introducing the one who came up with the idea for the incredible Beloved Rapture, which is on Steam now. Grab it now. It's been in development for a very long time, on and off since 2007. One of the first games to be on rpgmaker.net, and as such, its history runs deep. To many, it may have seemed like a miracle that this game saw the light of day, and yet it has a true miracle. The game had a Kickstarter that nabbed $10,000 USD, which might not cover as much as one might think. That money goes quick, I'll tell you that much. And so the dedication over the years has not gone unnoticed, at least by me. And I have admired this developer's work from afar for years, having now played the completed version of Beloved Rapture finally. I can say I'm so proud, feel so complete and true, and I'm so incredibly pleased to have its original creator and originator on the podcast. Please welcome Blind. Hello.
Hey guys. Thank you so much, Benny. Yeah, it feels surreal to be back, especially with this same exact group. Like, I feel like our original podcast actually led to friendship with all of you guys, but also to Giznad and I working together. So it feels
Nice.
surreal to just go full circle to be doing this again. But thank you so much for your kind words about the game, and you dated me a little with that date, but thank you. I mean,
Hey, it's not far from when I started using the engine, so it's
Yeah, same.
very we're all sort of seasoned creators at this point, but glad to have you, and just privilege and very happy, and especially with this release, just amazing. That's amazing. And also I'm going to introduce another person here. I'm going to do an intro for all three. It's going to take a while, but I figured everyone deserves it. Our second guest is someone who's described themselves online as an indie game maker specializing in music composition and sprite creation. I describe them as, what the heck? How did you make those big monsters? How did you make those big monsters with all those moving parts, you madman? How did you program that menu in Nihilo? And why are you making us all look bad in the process? But no, they're a magnificent programmer and developer who specializes in RPG Maker 2003, much like almost everyone else in this call, and who in due process was hired onto the team of beloved Rapture and helped Blind in making this dream become a reality. We see this person's fingerprints all over the systems of beloved Rapture, and this collaboration is one that we just talked about, but Blind just talked about, but I looked at quite fondly. I'm very happy that two of these friends found each other and worked together to make this happen. It's so cool, so awesome. I've heard through the grapevine and also seen videos that this person is working again on their incredible game Nihilo, a horrifying body horror-esque sci-fi sort of mishmash of a game that reminds me of stuff like the Alien series and other 80s films of its ilk. It's an incredible vibe, weapon customization, character upgrade, and so on. And, those massive monsters that I talked about earlier, very impressively built. I want to just introduce our developer extraordinaire. It is Giznads. Welcome in.
Hey, I'm Giznads.
It is Giznads.
Quote that.
I do shit. I mean, yeah, what you said. I really got nothing to. I don't have anything to elaborate on after that.
Yeah, I figured with the introduction, I need to keep it as big as possible to remind people.
Yeah, you kind of covered it all. So, I mean, I set out to make a game in RPG Maker 2003, and I did that with Aaron. So now I don't have to with my game. I can move on to bigger,
we scratched it
better
off the bucket
things.
list for sure.
Big brain. That's smart.
Everybody's getting the pass. Everyone's getting the pass.
Yeah.
You can leave. You did it. You can leave. You can stop.
Yes, that is hinting at the possible change of engine, or maybe not even theoretical. It's true, but we can talk
for sure.
For sure, yes.
Yeah.
You sound like you're never coming back.
No, sir.
Oh, he's definitely
No,
never going back.
And we can talk about that in due time. That isn't.
Neither am I, actually.
And finally, for our third and final guest, an avid game dev, a fiend for RPGs and horror games, and a death metal drummer. I believe they're about to go on tour soon. Incredible stuff. Creator of, firstly, a legendary RPG Maker game called Lacria Legends. It's a RPG Maker 2003 adventure where the energy of the world of Lacria appears to be waning and the planet slowly is beginning to die, but they must look up to the sky to guy for a miracle, hoping to visit the planet and bless it with rebirth. It's just a beautiful sort of looking game and feeling game that's influential to a lot of people, actually, in its own special way. And then more recently, the horror-filled sort of wonders of Shadow Seeker, a 2D survival horror action game inspired by sort of various sources of horror and noir-style stories such as Resident Evil and the like, where you play as Carlos Ramirez, a seasoned detective who has experience in many different kinds of cases and investigations, and as the story deepens, many horrors will unfold. And there's lots of darkness and shadows, and you are a seeker of the shadows. You are the shadow seeker, I suppose. Or are you the shadow seeker? Who knows? We'll see as the game goes on. But I've played the demo. It's very Resident Evil-esque and has a great vibes, and it's a top-down shooter with awesome, complex mechanics made in RPG Maker 2003, which very, impressive, as with all these guests here. It's amazing. Immersive combat with stamina, critical damage, and, horrific sequences. I'm introducing the one and only Koopakush. Welcome in.
Hey, how's it going? How's everyone doing? I've been developing games for a very long while now, and I'm constantly coming up with new ideas. And I'm glad to say that I finally finished Shadow Seeker after about close to 7 years.
And that was a surprise
So
to me
I
too.
really can't wait for y'all to see what I cooked up.
It's awesome.
It's
It's
awesome.
incredible, man. Yeah.
I'm ready. How many chapters, Koopa? 5?
It's 5 total. Yeah.
Okay, so there's 2 that I have no clue, absolutely
Yeah, same.
no clue about. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to say that the last 2 are pretty much like where the game really shows
That's how
like,
it always goes.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
That is awesome. Yeah, I mean, I played the game a while ago, and I'm happy that it was a surprise to me also that it was finished. You know, and I'm like, whoa, it's finished. That's awesome. I get to play something new soon. That's great. Yes, that's cool. It's great to have all 3 of us here and Riggy as well. So it's interesting.
Hey, why'd you say it like that? It's 5 of us here.
Oh, 5 of us. I don't know. I just wrote it down. I'm just reading what I
no.
wrote down on the paper.
And Riggy as well. What is
you
that?
guys. It's you guys. Come on.
Look,
What
I'm
is he
able.
doing here?
Yeah,
me.
yeah, I'm just shading Riggy as usual. No,
No.
but no, I'm a tester for Riggy's awesome game, Deluge MC, or rather, I'm kicked out of testing because I'm a streamer and apparently I am not supposed to.
Yeah, you're actually banned now. Yeah, you have to play it when it's done.
Yeah.
No, you have your own games going on. You should show yourself too.
That's true.
I like how fast that you're a sword guy in the video you sent before this. I like how fast he was swinging. I think you should keep that a part of the game. I was gonna say
the same thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I will. My game's a little janky swords thing that will, slice everything as it goes. But yes, it's sort of, we had this sort of private channel that turned into something greater, and all of us have sort of gone to do great things. And I have also invited Riggy on board because Riggy has been quite instrumental in the growth of sort of the projects here as well. I'd say Riggy is a great person to stream and create YouTube videos of. I love the way that he sort of promotes different RPG Maker games. So I wanted to give Riggy his flowers in that regard as well.
Thanks, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you opened. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut everybody else off. You opened my game up to a lot of people.
Yeah,
More than I originally had. So I'll say that.
That's
for you.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it because I love playing the games, and the only time I seem to play the games, I'm streaming the games. So
Yeah.
it's like I promise you, I'll play every version that you send me, and just take what you can from it, because that's the best thing that I can get out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Riggy has top tier streams.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Riggy's just got like hundreds of videos of different RPG Maker games on his website, and sometimes you say, "Oh, here's a nice RPG Maker game, give it a go," and he's like, "Already played it." Gives a link to the video. It's like, "Oh, okay."
What
Nice.
a cool niche little thing. Like I feel like you should be. I'm not just sucking your ass here, by the way. Riggy. I feel like you should be way bigger than you are, man. Like I mean, I think that should be a thing. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
He's getting there though.
Yeah. The growth is
Well, now
coming.
I'm making people mad, so that's the first step, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that one.
I went
yeah.
full woke, man.
Full work. Yeah.
You've played some deep cuts too, Riggy, in
Yeah.
terms of 2003. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
from like 20 years ago.
A lot of people made some games, man.
Yeah.
yeah, what a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since like 2021, we've all had our journeys. Perhaps the biggest milestone I could think of publicly was that beloved Rapture was completed. Yeah, it's crazy, which is like something I would have never. It sounds like a backhanded compliment, and I'm sort of a king of backhanded compliments at times, but like it never would have thought it would be completed, and yet here it is, and it's like this big sort of achievement for like RPG Maker community as a whole, especially RPGmaker.net and other places, and of course obviously Blind and the crew. So yeah, I felt like maybe we can start a conversation here that begins with like, well, we'll keep spoilers to a minimum. I figure like anybody here, listener, if you like haven't played Beloved Rapture, I'd recommend just go ahead and play it right away. We'll try and keep spoilers to a minimum at the beginning, but if there's like major spoilers that come along, we'll give like a spoiler alert. And then from then on, we can just dive head on into spoilers, and the listener can go, skip to a certain timestamp that I'll give you if we're going to go discuss Nihilo or something. But just go play the game. It's a great game, and if you love JRPGs in any form, go play the game. It's a great.
I just have to thank you both for finishing it. Like
yeah.
that was a lot of hours.
Yeah.
That might have been your most played, Benny, for last year. So thank you.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
take it as a huge compliment.
Yeah.
I'm glad it turned out so long, to be honest with you, because I think when we went into it, you were
sure.
Yeah, you were way
I was thinking
undersold how long it's going to be.
I was worried we weren't going to even get to 12 hours, which sounds so laughable right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think.
Go
ahead, Benny. But I was going to say, I think Cameron can speak to that too. Like, even it'd be interesting to hear his perspective, how much things changed, like since the last podcast when he joined me. Like, we were thinking it was going to be like maybe a 15-hour game in total, and then we probably doubled that at least, which is crazy to think. But
yeah, what a pain in the ass. Worst time of my life.
And then
it was really good. It was really good.
You were
time.
sweating in your Discord in the beginning.
Yeah, it's
it was really fun to have everything else done for me, and then just kind of program. Of course, I worked on some sprite stuff too, but
you did a few scenes too.
Yeah. It was fun to have everything all set up and just be like a monkey who's like, do this, take all these things.
A monkey.
Yeah, essentially.
Sounds fun.
Take all these things and do this stuff with it. It felt good because like when I was working on my game, I had to make all those things to do.
It's a lot different.
Yeah.
It's nice when you get that partnership where there's like a bit of synchronicity or like, complementary skill sets where one can take over where the other one,
we worked really good together, and Aaron, Blonde, whoever was really flexible with a lot of stuff. If I had any suggestions, we would definitely talk them out. It wasn't just his way. It was, it was a good time. It was fun to work on the game.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was weird. I felt that we unlocked like some potential that maybe we didn't know that we had, like just by ourselves, or at least I felt that way.
I still think the entire RPG maker community, at least the few people that I know closely out of the scene, should work on a game together. I think we would make a super game. We should make a whole studio, guys.
Yeah.
This was a combo last time too.
Yeah, it was. But now it's more serial. You know what I'm saying?
It is really cool when people get together and they work together to make something bigger than what they could have made solo. Even though it is, people can make awesome stuff solo, but like it is harder to be in a team, if that makes sense. Like, well, in a sense, if you have to take into account personal, like chemistry of the members and making sure that they're not annoying. I think a good thing was that you both sort of knew each other, and that's almost like one of the biggest tests.
Sure I was
like
annoying him many times.
I was just about to say I'm sure I was annoying to Aaron.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that working together in a team will make you more annoying to each other by several factors. So like the initial annoyingness should be small, so that by the time they actually get annoying to you, it'll be much less than if they were originally annoying, I guess. So the amplification of the annoying is hopefully at least bearable.
That makes sense.
But yeah, it's like it's we'll start with a discussion of the game as a whole, I think, which is like, and then we'll move onto projects that Giznads and Koopakush and Riggy as well have in mind for the future. And for each, obviously starting with non-spoilers and turning to the other parts. But we'll start with Beloved Rapture, which is, I'm just going to read the box. An indie JRPG inspired by the classics. Explore beautiful landscapes, fight in turn-based battles, and uncover many secrets. This mid-length adventure balances both an intimate coming-of-age story and larger threats looming over the troubled kingdom. So it's like cinematic mid-length adventure, coming-of-age dark fantasy, delving into trauma, friendship, and existentialism. And yes, I experienced those themes. It's got that authentic 16-bit inspired soundtrack. Awesome soundtrack, by the way. Awesome. It's one of the biggest wins of this amazing soundtrack there. Dynamic and challenging turn-based combat, 6 unique playable characters, and you can choose classical story mode to match your play style. There's a few reviews and stuff, but David Vinch said, if you're an old school gamer like me, then honestly drop everything and just get this game because you will not be disappointed. But even if you're more of a new school gamer, this has everything you want in a fun-filled, bite-sized adventure. And I agree with that. So there's...
Can I just say, David's been incredible too with supporting the game. He featured it at least 4 times, and he gave us the best indie of last year. So I was so taken aback and so happy.
David Vink.
There was a lot of David Vink.
Yeah. Dude, I've been watching that guy forever.
Yeah.
I did not realize he was going to cover your game, and I was like, "Oh, dude, it's perfect for you.
Yeah.
You're gay, you like RPGs, it's perfect." Like,
Hey, it's our game.
True.
Yeah.
But no, he was
Perfect
incredible, and
And it is a JRPG, and of course RPG Maker games are biased towards creating JRPGs. And I'm just going to speak of my experience with the game first of all. RPG Maker is an engine that's biased towards ease of use. It's, as far as I know, the engines that I've used, it is the easiest game engine I've used. And what I saw in beloved Rapture was, first of all, beyond that, a ton of work in the minor details of everything, showing how much I know how much it costs time-wise and thought-life-wise to go through and painstakingly make all these little details in this engine that's supposed to be easy. And you just go through it. It's just obvious that there's a lot of attention paid to all the little details to be made in this engine, where it's almost like, well, it's this engine that's supposed to be easy, but I know this was a difficult project nonetheless, because it's programmed gorgeously. The whole game felt very immersive, like I was running through these beautiful fields. And in my history, I haven't really strayed towards JRPGs as my go-to when it comes to games. I have played some of the Final Fantasy and stuff like that, but there's big franchises that I haven't even touched. And I've usually been in more of the adventure game, puzzle game style of things. But for me, even the story was epic. The graphics were great. The battles were awesome. It's just a really good time. And I spent a few months. I had a couple months break in between, just sort of letting it simmer with me. I didn't rush it all at once, and that's fine if you rush it all at once. But I just sort of let it simmer, and over time, it really made an impression on me. And I think the thing that I wanted to see, because I knew Blind could create, these beautiful vistas, these maps out of awesome graphics and stuff. I knew that the battles were going to be great because I'd played Nihilo, and Giznads came on board, and I'm assuming helped with some of the battle system, and that was and the menus and stuff were amazing as well. But one thing I hadn't really quite wasn't sure of was whether Blind could tell a full, complete, solid story. And that's sometimes the hardest part. But I felt it was handled really well. It had a lot of interesting topics in it, and it made me really interested to see what Blind was going to write in the future. There were themes of platonic and romantic love, kingdoms and wars and fighting, legacy, and of course, in true dramatic fashion, parents and their children and the legacies they leave behind. All sorts of interesting ideas about the land and spirits and magic that actually sort of surprised me with some of the depth that kind of goes in here, because obviously we have that big tag of like, it is an LGBTQIA plus game. It has gay themes in it, which is great. But like,
for better or worse.
Yeah, well,
that's the tag that gets the most attention.
Yeah.
But there's as you said, there's so much more to it, really.
You-
That I feel like
you're
even the tag
absolutely
kind of
right.
undersells it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a good game, and it's a good RPG in general. Like I'm a straight guy. You know what I mean? I don't get into all that shit. Like
Like the way you said.
underneath all the LGBT whatever shit, it's a good game. Like
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm biased because I worked on it for so long, but
No, that's good.
I don't know. I don't even think it needs that tag. I really don't. That's just
Yeah,
like a
I
feature
mean,
of it.
me
It just
neither.
happens to be a thing.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard agree.
Yeah. It's a thing that is because it's
Interesting you mentioned the parental theme too, Benny. I just got a review yesterday that said a game about love, loss, friendship, and the things our parents do for us or to us. And just the way they wrote that, I was like, maybe just being in the middle of it, you don't fully like absorb all the themes because so much is subconscious. But I was like, okay, it's definitely that too. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
I will say
this
there's
all the characters
Mm.
really had or better, yeah, they had good or bad parents, I guess, but maybe with a
yeah.
couple exceptions.
Right.
Yeah, it did end up being that, I think, because I don't want to get too much into spoiler territory, but it is sort of, it's about structures. When you get like the kingdoms and you get like the leaders of those kingdoms and whether they're corrupt or not and what their motivations are, and in that way they're sort of like, I don't know how perfect of a metaphor, imperfect it is, but they're sort of like parents of their peoples, and how well they treat those peoples that are under their subjugation and power. And it seems like all these characters underneath these authority figures are trying to figure out whether they should rebel against who and sort of things like that. So it's like, it was very embroiled in this tension and conflict between the person above and the person below and all these sort of structures. And that sometimes happened to be a parent, which is quite normal for a JRPG to have the "I am your father" or type moment going on, but it's because it's tried and true. It's like one of the most timeless dynamics of history. It's do we respect our authorities or do we rebel against them? It's a question. It was a big question I felt in this game.
I tried to get the I am your father moment at least out of the way in the beginning.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, where can we go from here now?
Yeah. Although the "I am your lover" one might wait for later. Yeah, I also want to ask Riggy, how did you find the game as well? Because you played through the game in completion.
Oh, it was great. I mean, I play a lot of games and I don't really get to play through like too many like fully and like get really immersed in it. So I felt like it was really great. There were a lot of times where like the environment just got so panicked and intense, and like you did such a good job kind of demonstrating that and like knowing what I do and being as obsessed with 2K3 as I am, like seeing all this stuff and then like thinking about what went into it and what kind of like decisions you made to like pick different things like from both of you, and it just came together so great. So it was a pleasure to play. It was really fun. But you know, I played early versions of it too, so I got to see it kind of grow into what came out. So that was also a really cool experience too.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it was truly a pleasure
Yeah.
to watch your playthrough, Riggy.
Thanks. Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, there were so many
It was
like
also-
iterations. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. Yeah.
God, I watched who was it? Decular? I don't know how to say his name. Played like a super old version of which I've never really played like fully
Oh
through.
my god.
It was
yeah.
fun watching Aaron.
I don't think it was
cringe.
Decular actually, but I know what you're saying.
Who was it? Who was the fellow that was playing?
I think Orichi.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know how to
it.
say their name.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
He had super
yeah.
funny
Oh
comments.
my god.
It was great.
Wow.
They love to torture me. They dug it up from the graves of the internet.
Good for them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, you
It's
guys,
it's kind of, you know what? If nothing else, I love seeing it because I'm like, wow, I actually did
Yes.
get better.
Yeah.
It's a little bit better.
Yeah. So Riggy played through it and felt good about it. And Koopa, you also played through Beloved Rapture as well, right?
Yep, I played it all.
Nice. How'd you find it?
What'd you think, Cooper? You think it fucking sucked, dude?
I don't know. I was telling Aaron the same thing. Like there was just something about it that like kind of had me hooked. Like I couldn't stop playing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it really has a good factor. I think it's just everything that works well together.
Aaron had a bunch of good ideas to put in there, like collecting little coins on the screen, which I've stolen to put into Nihilo too. That's so simple, but it like makes exploration what it is. It makes you go to this corner of the map and that corner of the map to like go pick up this little coin.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
A lot of RPGs tend to just the maps are really just in service of getting to the next battle.
Yeah.
And we didn't want that feeling, you know.
Agreed.
Yeah, it is really quite a rich exploration based sort of loop. Like it is nice, as I said earlier, running through the fields. That is probably one of the biggest things I'll remember from playing this game is just the feeling of running through fields. With that little grass animation and stuff. It's just that feeling. I think I talked about this off stream in a message with like Blind about the feeling like of running around and the moment to moment sort of just like the texture of everything. I think that's one of just the game's strengths is when you're running around and you're exploring and you're talking, it's just like this feeling of being in the moment, immersed in this sort of world. And I think that was really one of its biggest strengths in Beloved Rapture. It's just enjoyable to exist in the world and you know, I like that part of it a lot.
Thank you so much, Benny.
Yeah. It's funny, one of the first things that I saw was the title screen. That was actually quite early on, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. That was before I even committed to make it a commercial game, actually. It was going to just be a free game for our men, so there you go. But
yeah, what
the title screen, by the way? I should know this, but I don't. Because they did such a good job. It wasn't Liz, right? It wasn't Rob Eddy.
No, actually, he came on later.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole laundry list of people who helped out, but
who did this title screen? Who drew this one?
So it was actually originally drawn by an artist named Zedo Tagger. Zeddotagger.
Is that German?
I don't know, but if you know, it's so funny if you look them up. They actually they did the title screen for Rise of the Third Power too.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I can see that now that you say it. Yeah.
I tracked them down and then I shared the contact and then I was like, wait, this is stylistically similar. It's so cool, but
yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I might as well ask, who is in your team, Blind?
Just me, and that's all that mattered.
It felt like basically just us. I mean,
yeah.
I think we were the biggest part of pushing it forward, especially.
It was really just us who
who
worked on actually.
And Andreas.
Oh yeah, well, I would say like who put that. It was the two of us who put the actual game together. Yes. But I would say, I guess I could name a few of our closer team members. Like Andreas was. The amazing composer I found. It was a friend of mine, actually, also from our men who connected us. But and the funny thing was, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I had never originally even wanted to have like Super Nintendo music, which is so ironic in hindsight. How wonderful of a job he did. Like
it was so
I felt so unworthy. Like he was incredible. But we just inspired each other, you know, like by the end I felt like I didn't have to even really tell him what I was thinking. Like after about a year or so like of listening to me complain and pick all the tracks and everything, like he just knew exactly like what I wanted.
That dude 100% plays in a metal band, like a progressive metal band, because
a running theme.
I can hear it. Yeah. I can hear all the influence.
What makes you say that, Cam?
Just knowing his tom signatures and the way that he just composes everything, man. Like my friends are into that shit. I mean, I like it too. I was in a metal band, but like,
I can tell with the music you made.
Yeah, same.
yeah, absolutely. Like that dude he knows his shit. That's a composer, 100%. That's like
Oh
his
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. His compositions were incredible. I also worked with someone from the German RPG maker community.
Mhm.
His name is Fabian, but yeah, he was incredible. He drew, I would say, like 90 to 95% of the environment. So he really gave it that great, beautiful texture, like beyond what I could have even ever asked for.
And who
So,
did the portraits? Was Fabian too, wasn't it?
yeah, that was two people, or mostly two people. It was Vagrant Pixels is
Uh-huh.
his handle, and then Rob, who you mentioned before, Rob
Rob
Eddy.
Eddy. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Rob Eddy's doing the sprites for the new Nihilo.
Hell yeah, they look great.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure we can put all their bios in the description, Benny.
Yeah,
but
we can do that. Yeah.
Mhm. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob
Fabian.
Eddy's wonderful, and guess what? He specializes in super gross monsters. So guess what?
Oh yeah, he loves that. I felt what I was giving him was a little too, I don't know, a little too
It's
clean, but he
perfect.
did a great job.
It's perfect. You hooked me up with him, and like he told me that, and I was like, oh, that's what my game is, dude. So like, yeah, it's gonna work
Yeah.
out perfect. So we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't even made a single one, and we've only done, the base template for males and females, and the
Yeah.
main character. But I've seen his work, and I know that it's gonna be dope.
I bet,
What's
man.
what's been such a cool part of this process is just not even making the game itself, but just meeting all these people.
Yeah.
Like getting to know
Yeah.
like who's good at what, and so many of them. We'll get into this later, but they have wanted to work with us again, both of us. So
Awesome.
it's been really flattering to say the least.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, kind
And
of
exciting.
opens some doors to new opportunities and stuff as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's great. And yeah, so it's like this full thing, and it's quite cool that you can get people together, like, part of the probably like lead developers skill set needs to be sort of commissioning and bringing a team together and grabbing the people that you need and sort of fitting it all into one big project. And I felt like that's something you've done really well. Blind is just to get these people together that are like perfect for the job, and then just get this awesome product that feels complete and true, sort of thing. I like that. Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know where Aaron pulled all this from his ass, but he just had like everybody lined up perfectly. He's really good at like, dude. If you move forward in like game development, I mean, I know you're working on a new game, but like you're such a good like.
It's
God, I don't even know what the
it's
position
a
would be.
thing.
Like organizer
Um,
of shit.
and I think
you know what I'm saying? Like you're so good at that. I've found the right
oh
people
yeah,
to do
absolutely. Yeah.
Thank
the
you.
right job for sure. Yeah.
It's kind of ironic you say that. I don't usually like most managers that I've ever worked with, but
Well,
I guess that's why
you're
saying
one of
it.
them. You're one of them.
I'm a
Don't.
manager now. Have you heard of the Myers-Briggs test, Benny? Yeah. So my result ever since undergrad, but even still, is the campaigner. So I never really gave it much credence, but then I was like looking back on all this, and I was like, I guess I definitely did campaign for all these people to go along with what I said without having anything much to give them. So
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
must have they've seen something.
Yeah. That's so true. And then working through this project, I'll bring a Q&A question from later into now, because we put out a Q&A, a late Q&A I did, and I forgot to tag people onto different social platforms, and I saw what people wanted to ask, and they came back with some great questions. Most of those will be at the end, but this question was pretty identical to what I was going to ask you anyway, and I'll ask in for the other projects in due time. But so I'm going to start integrating some of these questions. This one was on Twitter or X. Tokens, also known as Token MCPE, asked, I would mostly say to them, what's the main inspiration to make these games, and what originally motivated you, and why did you want to make games? That's like several parts, but I'd probably just specialize it to Beloved Rapture. How do you think about like the main inspiration for Beloved Rapture when it first came out, and then what it's become now?
Yeah, it's real. I mean, it's sort of hard to answer that now because I feel just so much has happened in my life, like from when I first started thinking about making games when I was maybe even in high school, and I sort of left it behind for at least 10 years and then revisited the idea that it could be something, I don't know, that would bring me some happiness and be lucrative at the same time. It's hard to really explain, like, I guess what my mindset was at the time, but I just decided one day, I was like, I owe it to myself to try. Like, I felt that I was, competent enough in everything that I cared about, and I had stories to tell, and something told me that I felt that I had to finish this game before I did something different. I don't know exactly what that was, if it was just wanting to prove something or just using this as like just kind of like a threshold or a passageway to become good enough to actually see if I could do it. But yeah, the scope creep got the better of us, I guess you could say. But
yeah,
I'm not ashamed of it either. Like, I'm happy with, as Cameron was saying, like kind of how big it actually became, because there was a time when I worried if it would even be 10 hours, when it was just me alone, maybe 6 years ago working on it. So it's just incredible in the last 3 to 4 years, like how much it picked up.
Yeah.
Like the first chapter took 18 months, and then by the end we were going through like maybe every 3 months a chapter or something. So
Well, you did a
that was
super good job of promoting, for sure. I don't know how you pulled that out, but like you did a super good job of promoting this stuff. My answer is super stupid. I played cool games that I like, and I wanted to do cool games that I like. You know what I mean? Like that's it, man. Like I want to make a cool RPG. That's it.
Yeah.
Because
Right, Koopa?
Definitely. Really.
yeah,
Definitely, dude.
I'll probably ask again when we get to the other projects, like Shadow Seeker and Deluge and Nihilo. But I'll ask a simple question: Giznads, what did you do in Beloved Rapture?
I did the menu. We had the default menu, the default 2K3 menu before I came in, and we did a custom menu, and then we made the battle system animated essentially, which was pain in the assholes. Super pain in the ass. But it was like with the Maniacs patch and everything, it made it a little easier.
Do you remember how we got started doing that, Cam?
Yeah, I was like, hey man, you need to animate.
I think you just literally messaged me one day, right? And you were like, hey, I want to try this.
Yeah. So
it was
I had
from that.
I had messed around before with Dyn plugins, with Cherry's stuff, making animated battles and stuff. And I was like, well, this is new, this Maniacs thing. Let's try this. And then I reached out to Mac Valentine, actually, you should. I don't know if he speaks like English well, but he was such a huge help on this. Like, a lot of credit should go to Mac Valentine for the battle system, and a lot of advice I got from Mac. But yeah, so I learned about the Maniacs patch, and I always hated that 2K3 had static and no animations. And I was like, I think that'll really soup your game up if we can figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, to amazing effect.
Yeah. And
people see that and they're like, "Whoa, how the hell they do that?" And
I should say Mac has been incredible too. Just since you mentioned him, I haven't really told. I don't think any of you. Well, actually, I might have told Cam already, but he's actually been helping with converting it possibly for consoles.
Yep, to
Oh,
switch it.
wow.
Nice.
Yep. Yep.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I was so skeptical that it could actually be done
Dude's
through
a
easy RPG.
freaking
but
genius, man. Like he
That's
knows
Yeah.
his shit for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
That'd be dope, man. I don't want to switch, but I guarantee you if our game
Just
came out
imagine seeing
on
our game there someday.
yeah, if it came out
Scrolling
on
through.
Switch, dude, that's the first
Yeah.
thing I'm gonna buy
Yep.
for sure.
And with the battle system, I can't remember in the original demo, was there like the relica system as well, or is that an addition to it? And how did
No.
that go about?
That was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the person who had basically created the relica system?
It was actually
Magic or some shit like that. Who was it?
No, actually, her name. I think her username now is Mirage.
Okay,
but
Mirage.
she's from the community. She used to be a friend of mine actually over 10 years ago, but she was aware of the original game. When I was so much younger. But I don't even remember if it was called Relica, but there was some similar concept, and then 2018. In 2018, I contacted her and I said, I'm going to restart this from scratch. We're going to bring it back. And would you want to redo your old concept, or else I'll find someone else? And then she actually wanted to do it. So, but Cameron ended up reprogramming a lot of that, but she came up with the concept.
Yeah. What I think is slept on with the relica system is let's be honest, it's just limit break system. But what's cool about it is it happens so often. It's not like you have to wait like 5 minutes into battle.
Yeah, people were saying they liked how it was somewhat predictable compared to limit breaks, at least.
Yeah, it's super soon. Like you know when you're going to build that up. It's really easy to gauge, and like I don't know, it's fun, and it's not enough to like kill the enemy in one shot. You know what I mean?
It's got a little strategical like value to it.
Yeah, I really like that about the way she.
It would be cool if we do a console to maybe expand on that, and we could do more like AoE type of relicas or buffs and debuffs. Like that was one thing we didn't fully get to explore with the skills.
Yep. Remember, originally we were going to have originally we were going to have like 3 tiers. Where we're going to have relica level 1, level 2, level 3. Yeah, we were gonna, like kind of like Seiken and Setsu or Trials of Mana. You got like a level 1 relic, a level 2, level 3, and like the longer you wait, like the more powerful your attack is or whatever. That's what we were originally going to do, and then we kind of just scrapped that because we had so much other shit going on.
Yeah, in terms of like the skills and the stats, and even like every time you level up in this game, you choose which stats to like push into. Who was in charge of that? Was that you, Blind, or was that Giznads? Or
dude, I can't even remember. Was that me?
I think you were the one who integrated it, but I think we added that pretty late, didn't we? We didn't originally have that for a lot of the time. I'd say, I mean, it led to a lot of balance issues I can see from some players, but I think it provided enough benefit where I still stand by it, and I'm happy that we added that.
It's funny. It's funny because
I feel like the progression. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say there was fun in breaking it as well.
That's right. You did a whole second playthrough, didn't you?
Figuring out the chip.
Yeah, but go on.
I think it was hard to implement.
I think Benny definitely broke the game by the end. That's for sure. Yeah. He was ignoring everything, and he still he only died once.
That can be the funnest part of games, is a broken ass game where you can action. Like
if you've invested the time over that many levels, you kind of deserve it,
Yeah, let me have my fun. But no,
right.
It's like it was fun. It's a fun system because it's something that I'm conflicted about, because it was like it easily creates imbalances, and it puts a lot of onus on the player for like long-term planning and making sure they get things correct. Because I think my first time I played through, I must have done like some suboptimal sort of statting or something where I was forced to actually use strategy to get through battles, and of course I'm not good at strategy, so I struggled. But like the second time through, I did some more speed boosts, and apparently magic is good as well. and I had a lot easier time, and I just went speed the whole time, and I had a lot of fun because more turns equals more fun. But also, it's just like, it's an interesting system, and there's a lot of little fun little systems interacting together, like the diving system for treasure. There's a fishing system that I didn't even fully get into, to be honest. Like I didn't explore that, and I explored that somewhat, but there's just a lot of little mini systems playing at
I
the same
could have done a
time.
better job with that fishing system. To be honest.
Was that
Yeah,
you?
Cameron, do you want to say any post-mortem about the fishing system?
Yeah, just get good. You know what I'm saying? Like get good at it.
Get
Do
good.
better.
That's basically it, right? It's
My
like
answer.
it's like the Sekiro of fishing systems. I
Yeah,
mean.
come on, man. Like, yeah, it's RPG Maker, man. Fuck off.
I will say that it's one of those things, like fishing is one of those things players love to do, but it almost feels like it's one of the hardest things to try and find a good place for and good mechanics for, because I can't even think of many like fishing systems that I thought were fully fleshed out in RPGs. They're usually like an afterthought.
In
I do think
RPG
Cameron
Maker,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, moving to Unity and realizing how other game engines work. I'm not shit on RPG Maker. It is what it is, and like RPG Maker is a great engine. But like moving on to other engines, it really makes you realize, like, oh, okay, well, here's how you fix all that. RPG Maker has its limitations. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It was part of the package. Yeah.
I think the only people that can be good at the fishing minigame in RPG Maker is people who are used to RPG Maker. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, you got to know how like it functions.
And
I think you were kind of onto the right idea, though. I mean, a little bit of resistance is a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what players actually like. Like, they like a game that will kill them. They like some pushback, but yeah, I just think maybe it could have been a little easier, maybe. But
I think at the point it's at right now, it's too easy. I think there's no good. There's no middle ground. Yeah, there's no middle. Yeah. There's no
we did have to.
it.
I don't know. We did have to dumb it down, actually, or not dumb it down, but
No,
make
we
it a little
dumbed it
bit
down.
easier.
Yeah, no,
Okay. I'm sorry, I had no involvement with that system. So
yeah, but the idea is it's also sometimes hard to like integrate it with like some larger reward system that isn't just you get more gold, you know, or something like that, where it's sort of hard to find rewards that are like like unless you create your own whole fishing strand of rewards where it's like, hey, there's several fishing people throughout different towns and they all interact and then they all, you know, there's a network of fishing people that will
spoiler alert.
I mean, that is in there.
Oh, right.
Spoiler alert, the biggest reward you get from doing all the fishing in Beloved Rapture is a picture on the wall in a Washa village and like a robe, I think, right, Aaron?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean that's it. In
But
itself,
I mean,
it's a
I
great
thought that
thing.
was dope. You know, like whatever.
Yeah.
Do the
Did you
stuff
find
to get
the merchant that buys the fish for 3 times the price, Benny?
No, I
missed
didn't. I missed out on that one. And that's also bring up another point is that this
Many
game
people have actually.
Yeah, this game brings many
Have a lot of optional
areas.
maps.
Yes, yeah, it's like there's a lot of things you can miss. That you did on purpose. Like it's purposely, hey, this is an optional area, optional stuff. You can miss out on it if you want to, or if you miss, you aren't perceptive enough. How do you think that has fared post mortem of this game, analyzing like optional areas in Beloved Rapture? How do you feel about that right now?
Yeah, it's
That'll
definitely
be all right.
Have you watched any of the playthroughs, Cam?
Yes, I have.
Have you been shaking your head when they miss entire sections?
Yes, I have. Yes.
I think I have to say, in retrospect, you were right. Like, there's one, like, I guess in chapter 3 we have a whole like cave. It's basically a town. I mean, it's not a full town.
Underground.
But...
Yeah, the underground. Well, not underground, but the cave. But yeah, the something respite. What do we call that? I can't remember. Respite. Something respite.
Mm-hmm.
The underground respite. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people aren't even going to that. And it's like, oh man, that's such a big. We put so much time into
It's
that.
weird. It's like, yeah, I was really attached to the, like, I guess the gameplay philosophy of having it be optional, but at the same time, it's led to a lot of like post-release frustration where I'm like, okay, should we have left maybe some of those things as optional? I don't know, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that's made me
Yeah.
realize, like in Nihilo, like I've definitely got to make things more linear, and I've never been of that like mindset. But I
Yeah.
like the idea of like,
or
you know,
not
going
maybe
here to
not
here.
even more linear, maybe isn't the word, but more streamlined or obvious, like where
Sure.
you're supposed to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I thought of that too a lot for
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
time.
There's like
Yeah.
there's like a philosophy that I've come across where it's funny because there's a lot of ideas of dynamic content in games, like choices matter. And I think it was even Josh Sawyer, creator of Fallout New Vegas, who talked about this. If people can't trace the line between something that's like optional or causation, even in like choices matter games, between the choice you've made and the consequence, sometimes that doesn't then, you know, matter as much if they don't even know what they've missed out on, I guess.
Right. If they don't know what's optional versus not, or
Yeah. So it's
if
like
it's not broadcasted enough, then yeah, like
yeah.
whatever benefit you might be getting, like from the player feeling, oh wow, I found this whole other cave or something.
Yeah.
It might be sort of lost if like they're either missing out or I don't know, if they're just not overly explorative. Then
But
yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of it's like I don't know. What would you say, Cam? I mean,
I think
it's hard
I think we made all
hard
the
to make a final statement about it or anything.
I think all the really important shit we made mandatory, and I think we did a good job of that. Like all the really important stuff we made mandatory, and stuff that was not super important. I think we did an okay job of that.
I think it helped to like have both of us too, like
Yeah.
just looking at it, and if you ever felt an area was not fleshed out enough, you would say so, or if I felt something was, you know, like we could just point that out, and just having two eyes instead of one was
Right.
really helpful.
yeah. Yeah, there's that sort of what's it called? It's the fun also lies in like afterwards talking with people who have played the game, and then they go, hey, you missed out this entire thing. And I know I get a little bit frustrated when that happens, but also like it adds to the idea that, oh, there was more to this than I think that's sometimes when a person also like plays it again and then they realize there's different paths, that's when the choices come into play as well. When like, you know, these secrets, you're like, oh, there was more to this. Okay. You know, that's usually when it starts to show, is when you play it twice or they watch someone else play it and then they realize, hey, I missed this whole area or something. Yeah.
Did you find it a lot anything different on your second playthrough, Benny?
Funnily enough, not so much, and that's probably biased because, you know, you only go through the parts that you go through. But the main thing was that the battles felt different because of the build that I had.
The stat optimization, right?
Yeah.
I'll just say this. I absolutely hate that we had to get rid of the non-active mode. The wait.
Oh, it's still in there actually.
Oh, is it?
It's just
You
indefinitely
felt the warning?
in beta mode.
Okay. Yeah, it was busted, but like only for a few people. It's weird. Like I played through it. That's all I played. Yeah, it's weird.
Vocal people, yeah.
Yeah, I ended up playing through it active, and that was great. I don't think I had many problems or
Yeah,
any.
me
What
too.
about Ricky? Did he play active?
I played active, yep, and I didn't have like any issues with it really. I think maybe
Yeah,
one
yeah.
time it
You had no
crashed and
trouble
it
at
fought
all
the
from any of it.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
It's great.
Yeah, Ricky had no problem with his playthrough, as I remember.
Yeah, it's just
Actually,
I mean, he's an RPG Maker expert, so
a hot take of mine. I felt like the game felt better in active.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I will say one thing. Blind had to tell me how it worked for me to enjoy it more. That's the one thing that's so sad about, because I didn't realize that when you're waiting to select a player, that's when the timer goes over. And then when you
is
select
that a
player,
general engine thing, or is it
That's a
Do you-
default
Yeah,
2K3
it is.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
a default.
Okay.
I obviously don't understand 2K3 games then, but yeah, that's sort of. I don't know why I didn't feel that. Like I maybe haven't played enough like 2K3 active time bar games or
Were
whatever.
you talking about the enemies like freezing in their actions?
No, it's like they attack and they kept attacking me, and I think you had to tell me, just FYI, Benny, while you're selecting your player, the timer is going and they're attacking you, and like, oh, okay.
You have to be outside of the main command window to stop it.
Keeps you
Wait
up to
mode
date.
is so much better, in my opinion, and everybody
For
else's.
for the balancing you did, it was definitely what you
Yeah.
were intending, I think.
That's what I intended, man. Like I wanted to get rid of active, and then we
I know I wouldn't
then
let
we
you,
got rid
but-
of. Yeah, well, wait mode was busted. I mean, it's 2K3 maniacs, man. Like, what are you gonna do? You know, I'm just glad people played the fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
the
When I
Maniac.
saw,
What's this
Yeah.
witchcraft you speak of?
Oh yeah, he's a purist right here.
What is this thing you speak
Dude,
of? A
good
completed
job,
game,
by the way. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm going to open the floor a little bit. Anyone else have any questions about Beloved Rapture?
It was a really damn good game. That's my solid point on it.
Yeah.
What did you guys
Thank
think
you,
about
guys.
all the gay stuff in there?
It was
Honestly,
pretty
I feel like the whole game just flowed, and it was a
Was
great-
it not natural, Koopa? Like, as a
I mean,
straight Mexican man to another straight Mexican man, was it?
I'm half
yeah. He's
Oh.
half Mexican. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
No.
honestly, the whole thing was fine to me, man. Like everything just had a good flow to it. The game was just fun overall.
I
liked the
felt
story.
I felt the same way. And as soon as we got to the romantic scenes, for a lack of a better words, I thought everything went so naturally. The way
Yeah.
Thank you, Cam.
Yeah, absolutely. The
I
way
agree.
that Aaron presented it to me to program out, it was like, oh, okay, that's actually touching. When they like hug in the
Yeah, I know. Literally, anyone who's offended by a hug needs to go look in the mirror. I think. I mean,
Yeah.
it's wild to see all the anti-gay
Yeah.
like comments, because it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, come on, man, like it's not like
I mean,
it is
some people
not
were
shoving
not
this down
happy
your throat.
Some people were unhappy I didn't really take it far enough, according to them. So
I think you did.
I don't know.
I think you had the perfect balance, man.
Yeah, I wanted to
Yeah.
see
You did a
full
really good
pixel
job.
nudity and also.
Yeah, I could have made like Gohan
wait for the
and
next
Aiden.
Yo, like a hot coffee mod.
Rachel's new skin.
Pixel animators be working overtime like.
No, yeah, I was.
I
was
had a question I wanted to possibly ask, if that was all right, Benny.
Yeah, go.
I was gonna say, I know we kind of talked like, through Discord and everything, but besides like, I guess the obvious, like it's useful for me to hear as a writer. Like, did you feel any of the characters felt better, like they were done better or worse than others, or like so I think I know the general consensus of which ones maybe didn't get enough care and time just because of our release date and everything. But yeah, just curious to hear your organic thoughts, I guess.
Yeah. Like I've talked. This is probably one of the things I've talked the most with Blind about, is just like the story considerations, because I'm a story head. Like I'm an English class type person.
He is, for sure. Yeah.
I go through the themes, the characters, the conflicts, all that jazz. I'm an aspiring writer. I love all that stuff. So all the ways that this was sort of constructed, it was surprising to me. I'd say personally I enjoyed the story of the second half, the way that it matured over time. And I think it's quite an unusual sort of denouement in the end there. It doesn't quite go where you expect. And I think a lot of people felt maybe it was rushed, and sure, it was sort of rushed. Felt sort of rushed in the ending, but I liked the way that most of the characters' conflicts matured over time and became these sort of the conflicts weren't cut and dry, like, oh, this guy is good, this guy is bad, evil, all good, all, it's quite difficult sometimes to tell, because even Johan sort of gets corrupt. Well, actually, let me put a spoiler warning.
It's okay. The prologue tells you. I mean,
yeah, anybody who hasn't played this game, I'll give a timestamp if you don't want spoilers, but I recommend go play this game right now. It's very great. We're going to talk full spoilers from here on out, I think, because I'm just going to start talking about end game stuff.
Oh, thank God. I'm ready.
Yeah. So like, there's that central sort of Johan and Aiden type dynamic, and Johan towards the end, he's got this conflict going on inside him. And then towards the end, there's that sort of, he goes on his own buzz and almost quote unquote helps the enemy in a way. It's kind of vague, but that was sort of hinted near the beginning, where we see, he's gonna be all part of our plan, and it's gonna all work out, and Johan as the one will help us unlock the great evil, which actually sort of ends up happening. Because Johan's in a bitterness, and I guess there's this sort of theme of bitterness and internal bitterness that sort of is throughout. Like the bitterness inside you can grow and cause you to lash out, regardless of what side you're on. It can cause you to sort of corrupt, and I think that was probably why I loved Johan's arc overall. Like, if you have a story, the main character's arc should land. And I think the main character's arc landed here, because while it was about romance, to me, some of the parts that hit even, just as hard were the parts about friendship. And that final part where he sort of goes in his own buzz and he's like, I'm going to save my dad, I'm going to do this. And then his friend's like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be helping. We're supposed to help you. And he's like, I'm going to do this by myself. I'm not going to let anyone help me. This is my mission, not yours, sort of thing, and just to denying help. And I felt there were even some mental health things. I forgot who had a panic attack. Which character had a panic attack? I forgot that.
A few of them, yeah.
It was Aiden. yeah. It is Aiden. I know exactly what you're talking about. It was Aiden.
Because I think, what's their name? Krista. Was it Krista who led them through like a breathing ritual to help them ground themselves in a time of like they were like numbing out and all that sort of stuff. And it was those little touches that I felt were very real and they felt true, sort of thing. And I think that idea of trauma caused by others and this big ball of trauma and conflicts was like the central part of why I was sort of attached to the story, sort of thing. And there's the gay stuff as well. I mean, I am bi. I'll say that out loud. But like, I love those sort of stories. But then there's like, it's also so much more of that than that. It's like I'm just glad. I'm glad and surprised to hear like Johan's in particular, like maybe hit, because I guess for him, I conceived him so long ago when I was maybe like, I'm not even kidding, like maybe his age myself, so yeah, I think like when I was messing with this in high school, like it was before even I was thinking about myself in that way. So just, I felt like I spent that time with him, and yeah, I don't know, but I'm glad it hit in some ways that are separate from that too. And just like his general catharsis and everything he learned from his friends, like, I'm just glad it kind of hits despite like some of the major sections being cut.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. Just, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Just some of the levels that I didn't really imagine would take much focus, that you surprised me with that you connected to them. So I was happy to see that.
Yeah. That's what I felt. And then there were some parts that's hard to like sort of reconcile, because there's like I felt always Krista's always pointed out as a character that feels like they're always helping, but they never quite get their own sort of conflict explored internally, sort of thing, where it's like, oh, what was she sort of going through? She's helping a lot of other people and being a plot sort of device, but then I think you've got some plans for that. Maybe we'll see, but
Krista needs her own damn DLC. 100% for sure. I've said that to him since we started this damn game.
There you go to her.
Yes,
Mhm.
he needs some shit.
Oh, she might. Yeah.
Poor Krista. You know.
You know, some people suggested she get her own sequel, like
Sure.
Final
I
Fantasy
could-
X-2 style. maybe.
Yeah, I could see that being a thing.
It was such a thing, apparently. So
Yeah. Side story DLC.
I never played that game, but I know it's
I didn't either.
surprisingly popular.
Charlie Angels. That was Charlie Angels' Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Pretty much.
yeah, because it's almost by structure, because we have I forgot the blonde guy's name. What's his name again?
Lance, my favorite character.
Lance. And then there's also Karuka, and I felt they were almost like diametrically opposed in the plot.
How'd you feel that? How'd you see that, Benny?
Diametrically, like two sides.
No. Her name.
I say Karuka because that's how
Karuka.
Karuka. Yeah. I roll the R because I don't know. It's just I'm Pacific Islander, so we actually have the soft R, but in Māori language they roll the R's. So I don't know.
Karuka.
That's that's how I say it. But I don't know. I don't know what the correct version is.
I don't either, to be honest with you, man. I've always said Karuka, but I'm a dumb American. I mean,
Me too.
It could be different, different based on different things.
It's fucking Karuka.
I mean, I do like how that one sounds.
I do too.
Depends on where they come from. But it was like, the two kingdoms represented in those two people, like the big kingdom and then this sort of village on the side, but they used to be one sort of thing. So those are the two characters there. And then you have Johan and Aiden being... Also,
another thing I wanted to... Cam, you'd find it kind of funny, but Benny didn't notice at all that Lance and Karuka ended up together. So
what?
Maybe we should make that a bit more obvious.
I tried so hard.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was my idea, man. Like I was like,
I think you put it in. Yeah.
Listen, okay. So here's the thing.
But there was a lot happening now.
Here's the thing. The thing about the ending was that the credits were rolling by so fast.
Yes.
And I wanted to read all the credits because I wanted to see which of my friends were in there. So I didn't. So I didn't notice much of the scenes that were happening beside, because I was going, there's Brandon Abley, there's different people that I noticed, and I was so I would, even if that's one thing, I'd just be like, if there's a patch, credits slower. I mean, but at times with the song, but I wouldn't mind credits being a bit slower. But that's why I missed it. But
I'll get to it. If I can, you can cut this out. But like I will say that there was a little pressure at the very end of the game to hurry up and get it done. And I think if me and Aaron had maybe a month or two more to really flesh out the ending, like, well, I think it's
totally doable. Yeah.
I feel like we had a
take that much more, I feel maybe 30 or 60 minutes or not even, but yeah.
I realize
I don't feel like I can say too much, but I do feel like I can say that yes, it was rushed for a reason, and like we had to kind of get it out there, and I just wish we had a little more time, and I'm sure Aaron feels the same way. So.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's weird. Like I felt a little bit simultaneously like torn between like I've thought about fleshing it out the last few months, but I felt a little bit of a mental block whenever I try to open 2003 again. To be honest with you, and
I haven't opened up until you've asked me questions about bugs and stuff.
Yeah,
no, honest.
For sure. Same here. And
heresy.
I felt. Well, I've been getting just so many new ideas, so I felt like maybe these won't last forever, so I should just tap into them while I have this. But
Yeah.
It's hard, man, because like I want to
like,
get to my game, but like I am pretty passionate about our
Thank
game,
you.
even though it's not mine, but
I would say
it became like it. Yeah,
it's like your baby too, in a way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like I felt some of the things I can reveal here, I guess, but like some of the things were Cameron's idea completely, like the whole bandits storyline, the side storyline, which I then ended up looping back into the actual storyline, which felt pretty cool.
Yes,
that's awesome.
One thing I was really happy with what we did, just with the bandits, but in general, which I don't know, I didn't even explicitly set out to do this, but how we could sort of like every NPC for the most part, like we could repurpose to show that they have a second or third moment.
Yeah.
Like, and they're not exactly what you'd expect. Like, the kid from the opening village ends up in the cave area in chapter 3, or the the lady from the store in chapter 4 ends up working in the tavern when you meet Lance or something. Or just I could think of like maybe 10 or 20 examples, but I was glad that we were able to do that on the side too, like some peripheral storytelling with the NPCs where they're not just like, I don't know, giving you the quest in the village and that's it,
Yeah.
Those are my babies, the stupid pirates. I have an affinity for stupid people. Like,
it's so funny. One of the streamers was reading them in an accent very similar to yours, and I don't know how that came through, but it's so funny.
Good.
And how about everyone else? Favorite characters and maybe ones you'd like to see more explored, I suppose?
Better be Lance or Krista.
That's Krista, definitely.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with a lot of the comments that I've seen on Steam. Is that Krista should have got more story for sure, but she is kind of a secretive character. Like, who the shit is she? And like, who's your sister to be making all these powerful decisions and stuff? Yeah, and that could be a DLC. Like who knows? Like if we're gonna jump back on this, and especially if we get this Nintendo Switch port. Like,
I mean,
yes. Yeah,
we would totally. I think I can speak for myself, or both of us, but I think we would love to do it. It's just we needed a little break. It was just it was like many years stacked on top, and that's kind of part of what led to the end. Just feeling like it needed to be rushed, although maybe in hindsight it didn't need to be so much, but it just felt very much that way at the time.
Yeah,
like from a subjective point of view, I guess.
The last few months of Beloved Rapture were fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
Like it felt like an actual job, like where people were coming down. Like, okay, you gotta like, even though that wasn't happening, but maybe I like made it seem that way myself. But
no,
it definitely felt that way. Like, hurry up, come on.
For sure.
Yeah, when you sign up to a publisher, and there's only so much you can say, I suppose, but as much as you can say, how did that happen?
I don't know. You got to ask Aaron about that. I don't fucking know, dude. I'm gonna go on mute.
It's hard to remember. I think it was actually something so simple as like, it was maybe I think it was like right before you came on, Cam. But yeah, it was like I put out an honest plea on social media because we ran through the Kickstarter money, because just with the way the assets looked and just the caliber of stuff that I was trying to do.
I don't think you asked for enough money. I don't think you knew what you were getting into.
I think
which is helpful for me, because like if I know if I start one, it's like I got to ask for like 4 times the amount of what
it seems like a lot, but
it's crazy.
It's not.
It's not, Vinny.
That's what I said to the Season Nostalgia guy. We've been talking all the time because he's about to launch his Kickstarter, but I was like, yeah, definitely don't undersell yourself. Like these games are pricey to make, so
super pricey.
Yeah, to keep your main jobs.
I think if we had about 4 times what we made, we would have made. I think we could have made a lot more, to be honest with you. I think we could have.
I mean, I'm sort of proud that we actually made it work within like a laughably low budget, actually.
Yeah, in 2K3 to top it all off, dude.
Yeah,
that's a dream of mine. I've always wanted to fulfill, and I did. Thanks to you, honestly, Aaron. So,
thank you.
Yeah, man.
No, thanks to you, honestly. Like
Well,
it was crawling along before, you know,
I think I
before
think
we
you're
started
right.
to partner up. So I
Yep.
think our original podcast was just meant to happen because
Yep, I think you're
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Thank you, Cash, Benny. Benny Cash.
Hey, just connecting people. That's my job. What's it called? There is one more question in the Q&A by Dungeon Dev Dude. Yeah, Dungeon Dev Dude from Twitter X. Thank you, Dungeon Dev Dude is like been long time, submitter of questions. They probably submitted questions to almost half the episodes. Thank you, Dungeon Dev Dude. Particularly in regards to Beloved Rapture, they say, how did the team stay motivated, and what went to developing the game over such a long time?
Fuck.
I-
And I only picked up like 75% of the way, but God, that's a rough question.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how Aaron felt being on this for
yeah,
20 fucking years.
it's hard to answer that. I'm not sure.
I think you have a burst of inspiration, and then you don't, and it's hard to balance that because we're just human,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a good answer or not, but that's how I feel. Like
I think we kept
like,
each other motivated too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
we kept each other accountable. At least once you came on board. Like, I feel like for my personality, ADHD filled brain, it was just good to have like someone who was like, okay, we're doing this, and this week.
I think it wasn't. I think it was probably good for me to come on and be like, Aaron, come on, we got to do this shit. And also for him to be like, this is what I need done, because that's just how my brain works. Like, you give me a task, like I'm telling you, like I'm like a freaking
this guy's a
monkey,
machine. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure Cameron's not afraid of our AI apocalypse because he already is one. So,
dude, I'm from the South, man. We're gonna, if anybody lives through the apocalypse, it's gonna be
you
the
guys.
South. It's gonna be the
Will be
Southerners. I'm telling you. I'll come up and get you guys though, and I might even fly to
I'll
Benny.
eventually come up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all we prepare for because we're ignorant, dude.
And actually, Blind has pointed out a few. There's a new reply to our tweet, which is nice, by Noctis Refantasio or Noctilicious. They have a couple questions for Beloved Rapture in particular. They have are there plans to expand on Krista's backstory? Well, we kind of hinted, maybe.
I think I would love to do it as either a DLC or a sequel. I haven't decided yet, but
I'll say this. I really think
it would be cool to use the same engine in a way where we already haven't finished and just
yeah.
totally like subvert it in a Majora's Mask type of way where we just throw all new elements using the same engine. But then again, that's a huge undertaking, so I'll have to think about it,
If we can push easy RPG to port to with Maniacs, port to Nintendo Switch, I will 100% take another fucking hiatus from Nihilo and work on creating a DLC and wrapping up the ending, I think, the way that we wanted it to go.
I've already began on that actually, so you
if
probably that's perfect. You
dude.
wouldn't have to deal with that,
If you got it down, I'll be your monkey again. I'll help you. we will push it out, and
we both shifted our energies so much. Like I think it was both so enrapturous and like amazing and exciting, but also like traumatizing because it was it felt so shocking and so sudden, even though I don't know, we spent so long with it. So I think to an extent it was inevitable, maybe. It was like our baby, for years. So I'm sure anyone who's done that knows what we're saying. But
absolutely.
Noctis also asks, "Can you share any?"
And I hope that happens. Sorry, I'm sorry, Benny. Go ahead.
No, you go. Noctis also asks, "Can you share any details on Johan and Zach's reunion?"
Yeah, what the hell does happen there? What's going on?
You guys will just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But that'll be in the DLC that's too? Part of the well, it's both. It's actually going to be in the DLC, but it's also going to have just the ending that's going to be patched into the proper game.
Okay, cool.
A few more scenes,
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I felt like it's interesting because there is.
I
That
will
sort
say.
of, oh, you go.
Oh, go ahead. Okay. Well, I was just gonna say, but it was funny to me specifically with that character. I felt that people cared a lot more than we did about him, and I just found that interesting. Like as a writer,
Agreed.
like
Yeah.
they were very fixated on like why did Zach not get
Yep.
his conclusion, and as much as I feel like life can sort of go that way many times, like
That's
we
right.
don't always get a resolution for people that were
That's right.
part of our life, but at the same time I totally get it, and it means he had some effect, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am planning a few scenes so they can, I think it'd be important to show them at least have a conversation, you know.
Yeah.
Wherever that goes.
Yeah, I felt.
Benny, I can answer this next question once you get there.
Okay. I'm just going to quickly comment on the Johan and Zach thing because I think
I have no
it felt
answer
like
for that, so I'm glad you do.
Felt like the traditional sort of structure of like you start in a story circle. You usually start being called to adventure and being convinced of something you think you need, and then you get to the lowest of low and you realize what you actually need, and then you transform as a person, sort of thing, becoming a person who can overcome what you weren't able to do before. And I think Zach, to me, sort of represented the early sort of like call, but not quite what it was about. And then Aiden enters the picture, obviously, and that sort of becomes the central focus, I guess. That's how I saw it anyway.
Aiden's the better Zach. Come on, guys.
Agreed.
Yeah.
He's more manly. He's more in charge.
Uh-huh.
He's just all that is man. Okay.
Yeah, so I felt it was a natural sort of even though it was sidelined, I felt it was a natural sidelining sort of thing. It was and it was interesting. I say. Next question was Lance intended to be read as bi?
I got this here. Hell no. Lance likes pussy. Specifically,
I have no comments.
pussy.
There is conflict between the team and the writing team about this topic. We will get back to you later on that. But any future comment, any further comments about this topic?
I would say, as fun as it is to, I'm not going to deny if they want to read it that way, and I think I can understand why. But I can say that was not my intention for him specifically.
You intended for him to be a straight man, right? For sure.
Yeah,
I felt it that way when I was, writing all his fucking lines out. Like he's a little straight dumb guy. Like he just.
I mean, we've all seen like sort of, I guess, privileged rich kids. They're a little bit more soft.
That's exactly how I felt. Like a privileged rich kid going right. He did the right thing.
Yeah. And whatever it is, I feel it's not quite in the text, but who knows? It could be in the text in future. Who knows? But it wasn't really explored, so I don't know. I don't see it as based on the text. I don't see it as confirmed or unconfirmed.
I'd even go a step further and say that Zach was never confirmed to be bi either. So
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, big things. It was just tension. Tension existed, but it was never, explored.
But no, Lance right away seemed to.
You guys will have to wait and find out.
An infatuation with Karuka, I thought, anyways. That's the way.
Yeah, good point.
Like he's asking about her in the hot springs. As soon as he meets her, he's kind of
Cameron
infatuated.
picks up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then last question, Noctis is
I
saying.
guess between Karuka and Lance, I just wanted to say, maybe there's so much attention was on the other relationships. I can say, I do wish I got to add more between them, and I plan to, because that's a relationship I never, like, when we first got through, like, the first 80% of this, I never really was thinking about them.
You hinted to it, and then I was like, let's go away. Let's carry with that.
Suddenly it felt like it was there just naturally. So I was like, let's just do it, because, sometimes characters just take on their own path, and
that's right.
You just have to go with it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And then Noctis says, and just being purely self-indulgent, will Johan and Aiden get married in the epilogue?
Probably.
Who knows? No.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's good answer. I think I remember we had a podcast with Casey Ozemi of Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass, and we asked, there was a question asked about something symbolic, and they just said, "I'm not going to answer that."
Well, come on, they obviously are interested in each other. Come on, who played the game here?
Yes, but marriage is specifically something different, I guess. People want to know, but
whether or not they believe in marriage, or
yeah, that's true. That's true.
They obviously like each other.
I am a big fan of the story idea that if something doesn't need to be explained further, then it doesn't have to. But who knows?
That's right.
It could be. It could be.
Clearly, people felt that Krista did need to be explained, though. So I'll take that into
yeah.
They felt so strongly. I was like, maybe she does need something. More so than Zach, that's for sure.
She does. We were very focused on everybody else, but Krista got it.
She does get sidelined a bit.
Yeah.
Poor bitch.
I'm just scanning. I'm just scanning through my questions. Anyone else have a question about Beloved Rapture? Or I think we're.
I think we've covered everything we can.
Okay, yeah, we can probably move on because
I
know it's pretty late here. So,
but if anybody does have any burning questions,
I
think we can answer them.
I think a really encouraging thing will be too that like knowing that we can come back to it, and we both love the project so much. Like we're both of us like putting energies into new things, but just knowing that it is something that we both care enough about that we can, especially for putting it onto console. I do feel a greater responsibility to want it to be the best version it can be on there. So
definitely
not done with it, but
I'll echo his sentiment. Yeah. Man, I just had such a good time working with you, dude. And
thank you.
For sure. Like if we were gonna push forward,
we're really like great friends by the end, So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. I feel like we still hit each other up. Mostly Aaron hit me up like, "What the fuck is this bug?" And I'm like, "I don't know, dude. God damn." But yeah, I still care deeply about it, even though it's not really my story. It's Aaron's, but I feel like a part of it because we came from the same community, I guess, and I think we started working on our projects not too far from each other, and it feels important to get it out.
Yeah,
because he was one of the first. Aaron,
you were one of the first to encourage me to make it a commercial game. If I remember, you were one of like the first few people. Yeah. I mean, it's funny to think even back then, like there weren't that many examples really that we could look to. We had to kind of invent a lot of these processes. Well, I had to build this whole team and invent a lot of these processes myself, and then. It feels like there's at least like 40 times more indie JRPGs now, so
it feels good to push out something commercial made with RPG Maker 2003. This is what 22 years
we
old
can
now?
Still kind of stand alone in that, yeah.
It's wild, dude.
2025.
It's fucking wild.
I think RFL's the only other one.
Well, no, because they redid theirs in Unity, right?
True, yeah.
Yeah, they did the only thing you can get on consoles is the Enhanced Edition, right? Which that's Unity. I'm almost positive.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Final question. What's next for you, Blind? I'll approach Giznads about their work soon, but Blind specifically.
Save the best for last.
What's next?
Sorry.
Well, we both sort of shifted. So Giznads went back to work on Nihilo. So actually, I've changed engines now. So it's the first time ever. But,
honestly, good choice.
I'm working on a RPG Maker MZ now, actually. And the Seeds of Nostalgia developer, who I mentioned earlier, like he's been helping me learn it like very fast. Like he spent a few hours with me, like walking me through all the plugins and everything. And it was such a surreal feeling. I don't know if you felt this way too, Cam, but like going into an entirely new engine, I was like, I feel like a friggin' child. Like, what am I doing here?
It's wild, dude. Yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine what you dealt with because MZ is largely, it's pretty comparable, but
Well,
yeah,
I
I don't know.
almost thought about going to Unite. I'll save that for later when we get
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I have.
Riggy's also
Go
gone
ahead.
from 2K3 to MZ as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Yep.
But yeah, I have started my first my first game after Beloved Rapture, so feels surreal to even be saying that after 15 years. But yeah, it's called Robot Rhapsody. Still pretty early, so. But as I mentioned earlier, I do have a lot of the people who worked with us like coming back to work again, so that's pretty exciting to like be able to work with Andreas again.
Man.
The
Love
tile
that.
artist came back too. It's cool seeing like his texture and his painterly style applied to such a different setting. And Cameron probably knows how much I've ranted, and Benny even, but the themes of AI and like sort of the societal unrest that we're dealing with.
Fuck, look at us making the same goddamn game, dude.
Well, yeah, I guess
Wow.
they say like many classic horror movies are made from people's fears of the time, right? So
Yeah.
I guess this is our Terminator, but yeah, I feel
T2.
I feel like making the game in a story from what I'm feeling is just the only way I know how to be creative moving forward, and I want to. Yeah, so
I almost feel like
It
this
was-
is a competition now, Aaron. Like we're both making games pretty damn similar about AI.
It's like one's making the Terminator, the other making Alien or something like that.
This is going to be crazy. I don't know too much about Aaron's new game. I really don't. I've only seen a little bit. And he hasn't even divulged a lot to me. So we'll see how it ends up. But that's
I'm keeping it pretty close, which is unlike
that's crazy.
me, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
people will have to wait and see. But
That's exciting.
I think they will see a lot of like visual and like stylistic similarities, like like the world building and the stuff that I feel like people really liked about Beloved Rapture was, maybe the relationships and the political intrigue, and they really loved like the city area that we put together.
Yes.
And I didn't tell you this actually yet, Cam, but I feel like one mistake that I feel like, which is mostly on me, but I feel like we locked it behind like a certain story barrier. And so people felt that they had to do pretty much everything all at once, like all the side quests and before they progressed. And I guess if I could do it again, like I was looking at different types of gameplay loops for the next one. And that's been something cool too, is just for the first time being able to like rethink some of those things. So yeah, it's been really fun.
I have a question that people, and you can choose to edit this out or not. Is you plan on making this a turn-based RPG or?
I'd like to. Yeah, I was thinking about it, but it would really depend on if I found someone who could, not to put it this way, but who could kind of fulfill your role, because I have.
Dude, there are so many people out
I
there
have-
that can go
no,
beyond my fucking role, dude.
well, no, you're underselling yourself, but
Okay.
That's true.
But no, I mean, someone who can deal with me and my ideas and can change on a dime, and and also has visual and programming expertise. But I just feel like I have high standard for what I want to put forward, that if I can find someone like that, I could consider not doing a turn-based. Like I feel like my skill set would align well with also an adventure exploration game.
Okay.
So I'm keeping the story written in a way where it could be either one.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited to show you guys more soon, but it'll be probably closer to the summer when I
to be announced
more stuff about it. So
Gotcha.
It's exciting. Really exciting.
Can't wait.
Let's do it, man.
Alrighty. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we know that can be done. Look at Koopa's game, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild. And in 2K3 he made Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Grid-based 4-directional Resident Evil.
so
he
clean,
fucking did it.
Actually, yeah, like that could be the transition, because I was going to go to Giznads, but we can go Koopakush right now, actually.
Sure. Yeah.
Because Giznad's been talking a bit, probably wants a break from talking, maybe. So
Yes, please, thank you.
Yeah, no, we'll go straight to Koopakush's games. I mean, obviously, like Rare Legends, massive game, big game that was in the earlier days of, RPG Maker and so on, but has been working currently on Shadow Seeker, 2D survival horror action game inspired by various sources of horror and noir-styled stories. Obviously, plays a detective who has the experience in cases and investigations. There's a murder of a family that lived on the outskirts of the town, but it's shrouded in evil, this mystery, and it will shake you to your core. An ancient darkness arises from the shadows. I played the demo. I thought it was amazing, walking around and shooting and exploring. It's really funny. I think people laugh at this, but I actually played Resident Evil after Shadow Seeker, and I went, oh... So, oh, I see the influences now.
What? You didn't grow up with Resident Evil, dude?
I didn't.
On.
I
What kind
wasn't
of
allowed.
childhood is that?
A conservative Christian household.
Wait a minute. Did we know about South Park?
I didn't watch South Park. No, that wouldn't have been allowed at all.
Oh,
The Simpsons was barely in. They got banned for a while and brought back. That's some of Benny history for you. But
Benny's come so far.
But yeah, it's very impressive for RPG Maker. There's like fully customized, like aiming and shooting, reloading, and sort of it's heavily influenced by Resident Evil. Yes, Cooper, is that correct?
Definitely,
right?
yeah, definitely.
So I'd encourage anyone to go play the demo right now. But how is it going? The progress-wise, Cooper, I've heard, but I want you to say it yourself. What's happening with this project?
Well, I can actually finally say that it's completed from beginning to end. I can say that I've fully finished the game now. I've played it from the beginning to end.
Congrats, dude.
Wow.
And I feel like it's also made. I made it with with the mind of a lot of replayability. So there's definitely a lot of replayability value into it.
Oh, you got like New Game Plus and shit?
Not so much that. It's just that there's multiple.
Play it with different options. Okay.
Nice.
There's different builds you can always upgrade to.
Yeah.
And the game is, I feel like it's long enough to where it doesn't feel like a chore having to like play through a New Game Plus to achieve that.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm actually really proud of this game from beginning to finish, because I heard a lot of people say that it wouldn't be done. So that's just kind of
really. Who would ever say that?
A lot of people were saying it was too ambitious with the combat or with
people
the
say that with everything.
Yeah, that it would end up being vaporware. That it wouldn't be finished.
You proved them wrong, man. It's incredible. Like, it looks gorgeous.
Yes.
What you've done is wild, dude. The fact that you almost fucking depleted your like limit of switches and pictures is fucking insane, dude. Congrats. I can't wait to test this out before you.
If you open that picture folder, you'll see something there too.
Oh shit!
What?
Yeah, man. A lot of detail went into it. Definitely.
I think the thing about when people say it will become vaporware, it's sort of like it is in a way a compliment, because it is basically saying, surely a game of this quality is so high intensity of work that completing it
no
to
one
its
could
full
ever
length,
complete it.
it takes like some superhuman level of commitment and effort. So in a way, that's sort of like saying that this is such a detailed and well put together game with very sort of unusual for RPG Maker 2003, definitely mechanics, but like very polished as well, such that people were probably doubting that it would be completed, but you put the doubters to rest. And any doubters, sometimes they are like, the lovers of the game, because they're like, well, surely this thing that I love, it won't get completed because it's happened so many times before. But you are going to put their heart to rest and actually release this completed thing, which is amazing.
Yeah, definitely a lot of work's been put into it. I'd be lying if I said there weren't moments where I'd be pulling my hair because I couldn't do certain code.
Mm.
And yeah, it's a lot of shit, honestly. Coming even from developing the menu to the storage box and things like that. Like,
I'm proud of
To
you,
the
dude.
point-
You
to
took
the
you
point
took all
where-
those suggestions.
I
to the
can't
point
even
where
imagine.
yeah,
I can't even
yeah, I
imagine.
did. That definitely needed to be a thing.
And
I
you
mean, to
did
the
this
point-
all without any patches or anything. Like
Yeah.
that's yeah.
That's
Wow.
insane, dude.
It's all
No
like
maniacs or anything. Like
it's just vanilla Steam.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
wild, dude. Congrats.
I mean, I
no,
figured you-
sincerely, like I feel like I'm underselling this, but like seriously, dude, congrats. That's wild. What you've made with basic old 2K3. Like
I appreciate that.
crazy, dude.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
I can't wait till y'all like see the whole game, man.
Yeah.
There's some good shit in there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. There is like one of the most impressive things about the game that I played, the demo, is something that it shares with Giznads' game Nihilo, is that, yeah, freaky monsters with freaky, like there's a boss, I think it's called the Shackled, I'm looking at it now, which is like, has all these movement patterns and crazy, you know, it's like different AI, you know, not AI as in big data apps as we know it, you know, the colloquial thing today, ChatGPT stuff. It's like the, you know, programmed monster behavior and all this sort of stuff that's very impressive, especially with bosses. Yeah, like it's very, very impressive, this entire thing. I think Riggy, you played through it too, right? Obviously.
I played through a couple versions of it, yeah.
Yeah, how do you find
I think he played up to the first 3 chapters, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we're both big fans of DS3. I'm sorry,
Right.
Dark Souls in general.
Oh
I
hell
should say.
yeah!
We're both big Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Bloodborne.
Now that I've finally been
Probably
playing
all
that
that
thing,
shit.
I can totally see where you both were coming from too.
No, we-
I finally
we
become
gotta-
a From Software convert now, but
Yeah.
I've
Good.
been playing
Yeah.
200 hours of Elden Ring the past 2 months.
You can do that now.
Yeah.
I spoiled
Dude.
myself with a PS5, but
He's
yeah,
put
no,
out
I can
so
totally
many
see. I
wonderful
can totally see
games,
the
yeah.
design philosophy coming through for actually both of you.
Yes,
It's
sir.
so much clearer now. And I think
that's where
actually
that comes
Koopa
from.
talked about Sekiro on the last episode, so it makes so much
Yes.
sense now.
Such a good game.
Yeah.
The beautiful.
And you know,
Played that one too. That was amazing.
for an engine that's really like based on, you know, tile movement, I had to like, instead of coding against it, I coded with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel
Makes
like
a lot
I
of
don't,
sense.
in a way, like it's simplified to the point where it just works. I
Yeah.
don't know, and it feels good. Like it doesn't feel too janky.
I definitely felt when I picked up Shadow Seeker, anytime like I know that it's like, okay, 4 directional movement. Like this is the way it's tank controls in 4 directions. Like
Yeah.
it's its own. I feel like it's own goddamn genre, dude. Like it's tank 4 directional. Like
Yeah.
yeah, Shadow Seeker is 100% its own thing, man.
And I see it with
Yeah.
everyone that's played through it. Like everyone usually struggles in the beginning with the controls, but I gradually see once they grasp it, like the
Yes.
movement just gets fluid.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing, seeing people when they just learn your mechanics like down pat.
And then I see them
Yeah.
like start like experimenting and getting into it and shit.
Mm.
I feel like the gameplay is a big highlight of the game.
Yeah. It's like now you got it. Now you
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I would say the gameplay, but also the atmosphere is really well done.
Mhm.
I actually watched.
Every area has its own like feeling. It looks like a horror movie, but like 5 different genres of horror into one game.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Really
I
good.
have to say, I actually watched a Riggy stream your game.
Mm.
Like chapter 3, like I had just finished it, and I watched Riggy play up to chapter 3
Oh,
and finished
Oh.
it.
The
Yeah,
sewers.
the boss battle, dude.
yeah.
And there were so many points that were like,
Yeah.
no, do this. And then when you see him get it, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, now you're. I felt like what you were feeling, probably Koopa watching it. Like now you got it. Like as soon as he gets the controls, it's like there you go. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
it is its own fucking like. It's like its own genre for sure. Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure its own thing.
I will say when talking about Riggy and I playing games, it's like this ongoing joke I have with Riggy where we're just bad at playing games. But But no, I'm.
That's the best part of it, Benny.
No, I mean it's
Way to
just a
go.
contest to see who will be worse at playing a game at this point.
I gotta go.
I feel like I saw y'all both struggle with a certain section in my game
Yeah.
where you were like that you had that timer counting down, and it's like, oh fuck, how do I make my way around this loop? And that just made me realize, like, fuck, I gotta make this more, like workable for human beings.
Yeah, and like it's the people who will probably never want to touch a Souls game because of, it's not. I found it difficult, but I also found it frustrating. I don't know. It's just it's good to get different types of players to play your game, so you realize, so this is how people of this kind of player will react to the game as
You'd
well.
be surprised. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised though, Benny. Like, I didn't consider myself really like a hardcore gamer at all, really.
Yeah.
And I it took me a while, but after I picked up Elden Ring, like, it's a really like deep flow that you can tap into, and I feel like you could probably do it from what I've seen you play. So,
Well, Elden Ring
we'll see.
kind of turned that around from the Souls trilogy. I
Oh,
feel like
really?
they
Was it a
made
lot
that
more
more
streamlined?
Yes, it was way
Wow.
more streamlined.
In a good or bad way, you think?
In a good way. I think it's a good
Oh,
thing.
good.
But they did fuck up PvP.
Right. Yeah, I didn't play Dark Souls 3 yet, but
As for Shadow Seeker, what's been the most easy things and what's been the most challenging things about making this game?
Well, honestly, the easy thing I would have to say compared to making a JRPG, the easiest thing I've had to I of course have to structure and worry about it, but not as much is a lot of the dialogue and story.
Mm-hmm.
It is important in a horror game for sure, but it's not as important as it would be in an RPG, I feel.
Right.
Because I feel in my point, or I guess in my perspective, for that kind of genre, I feel like the main things that should shine through are definitely the gameplay, because that's what's going to get people to want to still keep playing, and the ambience and the atmosphere and sound design. So that's what I focused on the most. But I would say dialogue and story was the easiest.
Mm-hmm.
Hardest,
you did such a good job with the ambience for sure.
Yeah.
hardest is definitely the gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
So many parts that took forever and to fix, and the bugs and Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny when we talk about moody ambient exploration games. It's also nice to have Riggy here because DELUGE, Riggy's game, is quite similar in some ways because they're very much both horror exploration games with a lot of shadow, a lot of darkness, and a lot of surprises and jump scares and stuff. How do you find developing that?
I can also say that that I've taken a lot of influence from what you guys do and decisions you've made in how you build maps and set things up, because I feel like having played through all your stuff and getting ideas and seeing things you have these little bugs and things that are just a pixel long that's walking around the map, and it just adds this crazy piece of atmosphere that I never would have thought of.
Yes.
I love that shit
That's
so much.
That's so absolutely. That's so fucking important. Tiny fucking details. Moving grass, little bugs moving around you can stomp on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say I tried to help you make Deluge come to life in 2K3.
Oh yeah.
But I think you want more, and I don't blame you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes, sir. I tried to make it I feel like there was a party switching system I tried to help you with at some point. I can't
That's
remember.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah. Were there any rougher parts, challenging parts in Shadow Seeker, Koopa?
Of course.
I thought wrapping up the ending would be really hard, because usually that is the hardest part of a game. That wasn't as hard as I want to say certain parts of the game that were very gameplay oriented, especially a lot of stuff that happens in the 5th chapter. I'd rather let you guys see that for yourselves.
I'm just gonna guess bosses, but I don't know. we'll have to see.
Yeah, boss related, definitely, or boss is related.
Because I can imagine just like one of the big things is like getting those different phases. Like I think from what I remember, your bosses have different phases, and there's like you have to code the AI for all that sort of stuff and make sure that it all works. And it seems like the bosses are some of the most challenging parts of this game. Would you say?
Yeah, definitely. I would say another challenging part would probably have to be managing. There's like a lot of decisions that you have to make in the game. Not a lot, but a good amount. So following up the whole story with the decisions you made, I would say keeping track of everything was kind of like not difficult, but just a little tedious to do. Because I mean, I even added a whole optional like boss phase for certain choices that you made in the game, or if you didn't make them too. So there's a whole lot of like, it's not just like extra dialogue. There's like cutscenes, boss fights, different things like based on decisions.
You're getting me so stoked for testing this out, dude. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, yeah, and there's like with the you buy upgrades and stuff, and there's like different systems and the shooting. I imagine the shooting is hard to get right because you have to make it sort of feel nice and stuff.
Yeah, and you have to take into consideration the different weapons you're using. They have different range, different like the sound they produce is louder, like the shotgun is louder, so it's a bigger sound radius for attracting enemies if you shoot rather than with the pistol.
Wild.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The fact that you implemented those big bosses too without any sprite sheets or anything, I was like, how did he do that?
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. In 2K3, you have enemies that can detect how
like sound
far the sound is.
Yeah,
is traveling. That's fucking.
Oh my
god,
god,
dude!
And there's even an upgrade. There's an upgrade that will add like a suppressor to your weapons that basically halves that radius.
Yeah, wow.
Good god, dude.
Yeah, so I kind of made it intentional where you can build like a whole stealth route, like a whole stealth build. You can build like a whole brawler if you just want to be like up close and personal, or just more gun oriented.
Oh, wait a minute! You can go through the whole game just using a knife.
Yeah, I mean it would be hard against bosses, but it's doable.
Oh wow!
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's definitely doable.
That's awesome. Wild, dude.
And like your main inspirations, what were they? They got Resident Evil. Any other sort of big ones?
Definitely, I would say Resident Evil and The Evil Within mainly. Oh. I mean, both made by the same person.
Same dude, yeah. Fuck
yeah.
When they make games this good, you gotta...
Yeah. Evil Within definitely was because of the combat. That's why I started seeing like a lot of cool weapons or just style like of combat being introduced.
Right.
And I like RE4's Resident Evil 4's kind of like zany action too. So I threw a lot of that in Shadow Seeker.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like kicking explosive barrels and shooting them.
Yeah, that I could see.
Where it got more action. Well, RE3
jumping on top of bosses and stabbing them and doing flips off of them and shit.
There's some like that B movie feel to it,
Yeah, and it definitely helps sell like the noir feeling of like that kind of like style, where you're just a badass.
Yeah, just the fact that it has that much momentum is amazing for the fact
2K3
that you can use
game?
patches or anything.
Yeah. For vanilla 2K3.
Not even sprite sheets, bro. I never understood how to work that. So
he didn't even use sprite sheets. I was like, well.
So I never bothered with it. It's just straight up just show picture for everything.
Oh my god, dude.
That would make my brain explode.
Yeah, for sure.
Does anyone have any questions about Shadow Seeker? and or questions to Koopa about it?
So, wait, I have one because like you have these huge monsters and you use pictures for them. So how do you recognize like the hits? How do you build the hitbox for that?
So the monsters are usually displayed on a like invisible like events. Well, it's usually one event, but then depending on which direction the enemy is facing, there's multiple events that will be like next to it, I guess, to generate like a hitbox. And then the pictures are just displayed on that constant, either it's moving or it's a static event.
So a better way to put it, Koopa, is that the pictures happen around the fucking actions of the monsters, right?
Yeah.
Not the.
Yeah.
That's that right? Okay.
Yeah, so everything's displayed like hitboxes are basically invisible events.
Mhm.
I was just trying to put myself in your position making the game. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Mm.
God, dude, I can only imagine the fucking work you put into all those pictures.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then every monster has its own idle animation, movement animation for
Yep.
like, and then every
I'm just-
direction that they're facing in, and the cycle for their.
I was just about to ask, does each monster have like a common event for each stance it's in, like idle, attacking, attack 2, attack 3, attack 4? Like
Yeah, well,
how does
it's all on the same event page actually. It's just it runs
Okay.
a variable.
Cool.
It just runs a variable to see whether like the spiders, for example,
Mhm.
it'll check to see if they line up with your X or Y axis, and if they do, that's when they fire like their little web at you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they won't fire it if you're not in their line of sight, basically.
I'm about to bust into your fucking code, man. Lazy shit you've done.
I encourage it, honestly. I don't mind.
I like that. I like when people took my game and like busted up into it and been like, "Oh, that's how you do that." I
Yeah,
like
you
that.
can
be like-
man. Yeah.
You can be like, how the fuck did this guy not go crazy?
That's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's the whole like, you know, like premise of the community, right? It's just like
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love this game. I'm gonna see how they did it.
I'm gonna tell you right now. That's how Mac, the guy who I reached out to for Beloved Rapture for a lot of advice, I was like, dude, fuck this shit. Let me send you what I have, and you tell me how to.
I had
improve
no
on it.
idea he had that much involvement.
Oh,
Actually.
dude, if it weren't for Mac, that custom menu system with the items, the item like menu is specifically the item
Yeah.
menu. If it weren't for him, the math behind that is all
Yeah.
Mac Valentine, man.
I don't know if we want to cut this out, but we definitely need to we need to find some way to like galvanize him because he's the one who literally I didn't even pay him anything. He
Deserves half
did
my salary at least.
Yeah, he literally he converted
Yeah.
the Maniacs so many of our features into easy RPG just as a volunteer basis. Like
Wow.
he you must have really made an impression on him or just the game itself because he just was like he sent me a list of like 40 things that he fixed just like volunteering.
That's really
That-
cool.
And he just wanted
Mac,
to
man.
genuinely help us. So it's like,
Yep.
oh my
Yes,
god,
sir.
you know,
He's such a good dude. Man. I
Yeah.
actually reached out to Mac for Nihilo.
it's amazing.
I was like, "Hey, how familiar are you with Unity?" And he was like, "I fucking hate it."
Really?
And I was like, "Ah, shit."
I'm
But
surprised to hear that. Actually.
Yeah, me
Toxic
too.
RPG Maker
If it
vendor,
weren't
dude.
for that, though, Mac would be my fucking partner. Like, he'd be my
Yeah.
50-50, 100%. Like, he'd be my 50-50 partner working on Nihilo.
Wow.
Because that dude's he's a genius, man. Like, especially when it comes to working with 2K3's engine and Maniac specifically. Like, he knows his shit, man. He does.
I had a question for both of you guys actually. So did you guys have the stories for your own games decided in advance, or did you not know until you get to the end, basically?
Is this for me and Koopa?
Yeah. Well,
I'll
I
let
guess
Coop-
Riggy too, but
Okay.
yeah, you
I'll,
two
I'll
primarily.
let you two guys answer first, and then I'll go last.
Well, in my first game, Lacria Legends, near like a little bit halfway towards the end, I was kind of like filling it in as I was going on. But then I kind of learned from that. So like a lot of Shadow Seeker was just fully outlined from like beginning to end already.
Yeah.
Before I even started on the game, I already knew what the story was going to be, who
Mm.
the villains were going to be, how it was going to end.
Yeah. I could tell just from
Yeah.
talking to you all the time, like you were so much more organized this time.
Yeah, no,
That's
definitely.
cool.
Yeah. I feel that
Yeah.
even from 3 months over about Rhapsody, like I just know everything so much more in advance, exactly what I need to do.
Mhm.
Koopa,
Like,
side question, dude.
Yo,
What's next after going on tour with your
Oh.
band? What's next gaming was?
damn, y'all want to talk about that?
Yeah, I want to talk about it, bitch.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
I'm bouncing back and forth between two ideas. One of them is basically taking a lot of the coding from Shadow Seeker, whether it's like like from the combat and stuff, and kind
Yep.
of making more like a dark fantasy RPG with spells and
Okay.
equipable equipment
Wow.
and swords and different
Like
types of
Dark
weaponry.
Souls S.
Yeah, basically,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's either
Really
that
incredible.
or
You gonna
developing a
what
more.
you gonna? I'm sorry. With that idea, I want to hear your other idea. But with that idea, you're gonna continue on with 2K3 no matter what.
I don't know, man, because I wanted to take
Have
time
you
to
talked
learn
with
something
another
else.
engine?
Just Godot.
Oh, hey,
okay.
that's
Cool.
that's a great choice in engines for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was kind of looking at that one
Okay.
a bit.
Oh,
Heard
all
it.
right.
I heard it's a good
What's
one.
that second idea? What's that second?
Yeah, my second idea was a more laid back kind of game.
Okay.
A little slice of life in a way.
Okay. Yeah. Anime shit.
Mystery based, where you're basically like a little boy and you have like a pet dog.
Oh.
And it's kind of like a magical world, and you go out kind of like, I don't know, talking to spirits and solving little mysteries and stuff, where you can control both a little boy and the dog separately. Like the dog can talk to other animals and sense things and pick up scents.
I like both
And
those ideas. I
That's
have
really
to lean
cool.
to the latter though. I've got to lean to
yeah,
Yeah,
You
same
could combine them into one. Have a dog in the,
Holy
in the
shit.
Souls world.
that. You could give the dog some
Like Secret of
insane
Evermore.
spells, dude.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to
Yeah.
me. I was like, yeah.
Dog
yeah,
Souls.
but I don't know. We'll see which one I'll
Survivalist
end up doing.
version of Secret of Evermore.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, good luck with your tour, dude. Hey, make sure when y'all cross into a new state, you pick up your legs, dude.
I'm going on a trip.
We did
Yeah.
it every time we went on tour, man. When you cross into a new state, you got to pick up your feet. Everybody in the van, dude. It's good luck. Trust me.
Yeah, I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
You better tell everybody. And when they're like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
He's gonna come out there with
Make
like
him
a
do
new
it.
superstition.
Do it, you motherfucker.
Because I have to do it.
Yeah,
An
but
RPG Maker developer told me to.
Yeah.
that's pretty much what I
You're
got.
like,
planned.
what?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to
Yeah,
fuck
me
around
too.
with the new with the finished version of Shadow Seekers.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Give
to
it
see
a
where
try.
you go from here. I'm excited to see where Blonde goes. I'm excited to see this remake of Deluge. I'm excited to see Benny's wild ass Unity sword swinging fucking thing.
Yeah, that's
I'm
kinda
excited to
having
see
a-
what that is.
Kind of having some hopes that this will get some kind of big traction out there, because survival horror and horror is a very big genre out there that gets easily exposed.
Mhm.
Well, dude, you had what is it, ABC Gamer?
Yeah. When that guy streamed like my game,
That's
dude,
fucking insane.
my download
Dude.
count on like RPGmaker.net jumped like
Went
by
crazy.
like 1,000,
Wow.
almost 2,000 in a day, bro. And I was like, what the hell?
I saw that and I was like, that is fucking wild,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, some exposure like that, it's very, very possible, because there's not a lot of I would say there's not a lot of 2D indie horror out there, like survival horror.
No, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, there really isn't. So
There's been a few games, but they have none that have like, like really fucking popped, like
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
have you guys seen the game on Steam called Look Outside?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Riggy's been playing that one.
I've just
Oh, really?
that
You have?
dude.
Speaking of Barkley, like, isn't that related to that guy?
Well,
That
you know
is
what?
this, yeah.
I don't know if
game,
it's the same creator, but I think he was involved with like the gaming world and Barkley and all that.
So
the one who made that game.
Yeah, Francis Colomb. He's working on right now Kingdoms of the Dump. He's doing enemy graphics for
Wait,
Kingdoms
really?
of the
Dude.
Dump. Oh yeah.
fuck
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then
Huge
he
shout out.
did
I've been waiting for that game so long. Actually,
Same.
they did their Kickstarter the same year I did, and
So-
we've been talking like all. And he's so close now.
He's from the 2K3 community. Yep.
Yeah.
He did a few like prototypes in 2K3. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Reagan.
Oh, you're good. You're good. And so he did this game for the Hawk Zombie game jam that just happened, and then I don't know what happened there, but somewhere along the line, Devolver Digital picked it up, and like he got a whole bunch of support with like the development. And I played the
Wow.
demo of it forever ago, and it was really good. But
Yeah,
then
it blew
I'm
up.
playing the current version, and it's like, oh my god,
Souped up.
it's very sick, very good game.
Yeah.
Mm.
It looks
know what,
very
like-
distinct from Shadow Seeker in many ways, but it's
That was-
cool to see. It's cool to see another one, you know.
Yeah.
But,
Like when I was seeing that game pop off, that's like something that kind of inspired me even more to like
Yeah.
Mm.
take the plunge into getting this game out there. Like,
Oh yeah.
It's like people want this, you know. That's the feeling, right?
yeah, exactly.
It's like,
Yep.
oh, people actually like this.
It's not
stuff?
even
Okay.
It's not even that. It's first of all like I like this. Oh, other people like this too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
I see it firsthand. I
Yeah.
cover the game, and if people are stoked, or if something like people go nuts for it, dude, and you'd be surprised. Like RPG Maker is way bigger of a community than when we started. You know, it's just
Yes.
it's
Mm.
astounding.
Yeah.
Thanks to people like yourself, man. You and there was another dude that put some beloved Rapture shit out. What the fuck? What was his name? What was that? He got a ton of fucking
wait, who are you
views on
talking
it.
about?
Let me see.
Oh my god, I'd have to Google it, but like,
Oh, David, right?
nope, not David Vinke. Even it was some other dude. He got like 40,000 views on a beloved Rapture video. Hold on, I'll tell
Oh,
you.
wow. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, you have, motherfucker. You just
If I know who you're talking about, maybe.
it was like a
Run
shorty
the
put out.
MC. Run the
Yeah,
MC.
that's it, Benny.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Run the MC. Put a video out on Beloved Rapture, and he specifically talked about how this was made in 2K3. And like I watched that, and I was
That's
like,
an older
oh my
one.
god,
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
man.
one of the biggest videos. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, see, like sometimes that's kind of like
He
all
was
it
so
takes.
in shock. Yeah.
Yep.
He probably would be even more so with Shadow Seeker.
I loved
Sure.
watching that reaction. Not because he was like, oh man, this game's cool. It's because
He
knows
understood what you did.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's one cool thing that I've seen a lot of people comment on like streams where they're playing Shadow Seeker is that they can't tell if it's like 2K3.
This is 2K3.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one of the best feelings
That's the best
in the
part when they
world.
can't even tell, you know.
Yeah, when you
Yeah,
make
yeah.
something in 2K3 and people are like, "This is made in 2K3,"
Yeah.
unfucking believable. That's like, my heart. You know what I mean? Like, it feels so
Yeah.
good.
The ultimate compliment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's because that's one of the challenges of. I think that's one of the coolest things you can do is take an engine with severe limitations and do something fucking wild with it. You know?
I'm so proud of us though, like compared to the last podcast, how much we've all used 2003 as just a springboard to learn more, but also just learn more in other
I would
engines
never
even,
go back
you
to
know?
that shit. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a tool for us, you know.
Absolutely.
It was like a necessary starting point or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Not
said
even a starting point, but yeah.
Yeah. I said I'll never go back to that. I won't. But like,
I know you won't. Yeah.
but I encourage anyone who is making a game for the first time, especially an RPG, you know, turn-based RPG, work with that engine. Do something do something short. Make a fucking impact with that. And
would
then
you
move
guys
on
still
to a big
recommend it
engine.
at this point?
100%, especially
Yeah.
for people starting up. Yeah. I would say fuck MZ, fuck MV. I would say if you're gonna start in an assisted engine like that, do 2K3, man. Like with Maniacs, like learn that shit, put something out great because you can, and you're gonna put something out of better quality than the majority of MZ, MV, Unite shit.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna put something out better there. And then move on to something else. Like even if it's just a step up to like MV, you know, like MV is a good engine because you can push to consoles with that, right?
Yes.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
MV's a good engine, man. Like if that's the kind of game you want to make, I could see somebody putting out like a Suikoden or a fucking Dragon Quest type game in MZ easily, you know. But if you want a little more customization, I think you're gonna have to move to like Unreal, Unity.
MZ can kind of do a lot of what we did, like a little bit more easily, but it's not necessarily best for like pushing to this whole other space. I don't know.
Correct. Yes.
Like what you've done, what you've already done isn't amazing, Cam. Like,
thank you so much.
Yeah,
I was surprised to see what you've done, dude. Look, we're sucking each other's
surprised?
wieners over here, me and Aaron. But no, he really has, like, like we haven't chatted about our projects outside of Beloved Rapture very much, but when we do, I know that when he sees mine, he's like, wow, that's cool. And when I see his, I'm like, holy shit, that looks really good. I can't believe that you've done this. Like, I can't wait to see, like, it come
Maybe
to
all of us will
fruition.
work together on one after this. Who
Dude,
knows?
I think that's
Dragonheart Man and I have been trying to talk about it for 10
We're
years.
Starting a team here.
Listen, man, if I make a million,
maybe it could be. Maybe it's my stubbornness that'll make it happen. Who knows?
If I make
whole
millions of
2003
dollars,
server came from the last one. So
if I become a millionaire
funny.
pushing out Nihilo, I will 100% be like Riggy, Koopa,
Sir,
Penny, Aaron, and Andrew, and anybody else close to me. I want to make a 2K3 Studios. I want to make all the
Manifest it
fucking.
right now.
I'm serious, man. I'm not even joking. Like,
Christmas side story will be the first prototype, right?
It's called 2K3
No, I want
Studios.
us to make our own game.
It's called 2K3 Studios, and nobody's using 2003. But
no, one else
that'll
is
bring
using
people
it
back to
for
use it.
novelty in itself.
We'll just get Andrew to make us our own engine, dude. Fuck it. He clearly knows what the shit he's doing.
Oh yeah.
So.
yeah. I'm like the only one here who didn't start in 2K3 actually, so it's quite funny.
Oh, you are actually. Wow.
It doesn't matter. You're a huge part.
Annie, when did you join? Yeah. Sorry, we're interviewing you now, but when did you join RPGmaker.net?
2010.
2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I used 2K3, but my first. Yeah. It's what's it called? I started. I played around with 2K3, but I made my first full-fledged game, I guess, in VXS. So.
Wow.
Interesting, dude. And Riggy, you haven't been here very long either, right?
With RPG Maker?
Yeah, with the RMN community, RPG Maker.
He's a lurker.
I remember you were like Frog. What the hell were you? You were like Frog something. What the hell was her name in the RMN?
No, Goji.
No. Goji, yeah.
Goji, that was it. But you had a frog as your
Yes, yeah.
Yes, okay. God, see, I thought you were Froggy, but that's a totally
different guy. Yeah, I don't know. I've been around, I think, forever.
Oh, okay. You just popped up. I remember you popped up in a picture I posted for Neil like 20 years ago. You were like,
yeah,
and I was like, thanks, fella.
Yeah. I grew up on like Gaming World, and like I was kind of around like back in the early days when I was a kid. Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, who were you on there?
I wasn't like a poster big. I was.
Wow,
you were
my username. No, my username was Gino_SMRPG, and I did one thing on the whole time I was there, and it was play some Survivor game that I think Matsui or whatever the guy's name was hosted it, and then I got voted out due to inactivity. But back then, I was big into RPG Maker, so I just
what's wild is I was never a part of Gaming World.
Yeah,
you weren't.
I knew
actually both of you guys weren't.
I knew what Gaming World was.
Yeah,
I went there all the time, but I never was a part of it though.
Yeah.
I'm more of an RMN boy.
Yeah, same.
I could say actually Beloved Rapture stems even back into the Gaming World era.
Yeah.
So that's an extra irony.
Old ass shit. I know. It's crazy. Wait, how old is everybody here? We can do this off stream. I mean, or off recording.
Yeah, I'm 33.
I'm 33.
Yeah, I'm 33 too.
33. Aaron, you're what, 34?
Oh, I just turned 35 actually.
Okay, 35.
Oh,
hell yeah.
Benny, you're young, right? You're like what, 32?
No, I'm 33.
Oh, we're all 33 except for
Wow.
Cameron. Look at that.
I think the majority of the Gaming World thing, I think, was before our time for the most part.
I'm 36. You fucking young motherfucker.
You old mother.
Yeah, no, I'm the oldest of you all, for sure.
Wow.
Look at that.
Not by much, though. We're all pretty similar age.
Nah, yeah, we're similar age.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm 23. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the aging thing is a myth. I mean, you get older and everything sucks, but like, I'm still a dork. I never grew out of that.
You
That's
get more
never
bitter, you
changing.
become more conservative.
Yeah,
It's fucking Riggy.
Yes,
I know
sir.
you're young and progressive and from Philly now.
Yes, sir.
But in 3 years, dude, you're gonna be like, fuck. I should have voted Trump.
You keep that in. You keep this in there. You keep this in the video.
It's gonna happen, Riggy. It's gonna happen, Riggy.
That did not just happen.
There is a question by Bydark1994, or Triple H is their nickname on Twitter or X. Luck Career Legends, they say, it's a fun game that I played many years ago. It gives me a deep impression. I just want to say hello to Koopakush and ask if they will make a new game. While you're making Shadow Seeker, but there's obviously another new game, but they probably
they want an RPG, Koopa. That's what that user wants 100%. Come on, man. You gotta deliver, dude.
About that. You know, it's funny. Like, I didn't think I would make another RPG. Now that I feel like after fucking with action stuff and adventure stuff, like I feel like that's more of my.
What about
shit.
action RPG?
I mean, yeah, right. There's that possibility, but I don't think I would do turn-based.
Yeah.
Well, Koopa,
No, you did it already. I mean,
I've got to say, man, like I'm not 100% certain that Nihilo will be a turn-based RPG.
Yeah,
I don't know yet. I haven't gotten there.
Especially fucking
That's
with
pretty-
Unity, I wouldn't doubt you'd get some ideas.
Yeah.
It's very, very possible that I turn Nihilo into
it's
an
cool
action.
that all three of us are like, oh, we don't know what the battles will be, but we know that something's coming.
Yeah.
It could be dope, dude. We could
I mean,
have
the
all
game
these
exists
death animation.
so much divorce from that.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
guys, so,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna breeze through a lot of these Q&As because a lot of them have been answered, but there's some just comment. There wasn't too many questions. There was just some comments that don't deserve answers, like on the RPG Maker Net Discord. Fro says, "Can you ask Ricky why he smells so much?" Yeah, that was
Because he
that was
eats
Fro.
onions. He's from
my thing.
Philly.
Just what I just do that.
Yeah,
From Philly, he eats too many Philly cheesesteaks.
with the onions.
Fried
Uh,
onions.
On Beloved Rapture Discord, Dragon Heartman or Zexu also says, I don't have any questions, just excited to hear you guys chat. Yeah, that was
Oh, I love Andrew.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to have him back on your podcast.
Yeah.
I know. I almost wanted him to be here, but
Yeah,
maybe
same.
next time.
big crowded room. There's almost
I can't believe
just
I've
the
known
limit
him
of
since I
how
was
crowded it
17
is.
years old. It's insane.
Wow.
Wow. And then there's Froze who says, oh, I'll be there. I'm not sure if they thought it was going to be a live stream or something. But there was going to be, Die Halto says, I hate Monday because it was going to be on a Monday. And then question for Blind. Oh, here's a question for Blind. What is your mapping process like? Do you take the time to plan out or sketch the layout of each area, or do you just kind of wing it?
Oh.
Yes, he takes fucking 2 weeks to make a map. He really thinks this shit out for sure. I can answer that 100%. Like when I'm like, dude, you got to make this map. This happened like 15, 16 times with
16
Beloved
times,
Rapture.
wow.
At the end of Beloved Rapture, I'm like, we got to have this map. And like he really takes his time and makes it to the finest detail.
Yeah.
He knows
thank
what
you,
he's
sir.
doing. He knows what he's doing.
I
Blonde
would
is
agree.
super
Honestly,
good at
sometimes
mapping.
it is just winged though. Like, I found like a good trick if you just can't really get started with it is just make just a single frame, like one screenshot worth of a screen of your map, and then try to make it look good, and then turn that into 4 times or 10 times as big, and then that's it. But just try to capture the mood in that single screenshot, and then if you can do that, then you can make it to a whole map. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Hey, that's that screenshot survival thread training coming.
And yes,
through.
I did learn that through posting many mock-ups.
Yeah.
I really think Aaron takes inspiration from where he goes. Like, cause while we were working, I'm pretty sure Aaron took 2 vacations, one to Spain
It
and one to
was
Mexico.
more of an extended stay, but yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he takes inspiration of his surroundings. So when you go somewhere and just take in the environment for sure and try
Yeah.
to I would say try to
It's
make a
so
map
cool.
like that.
Yeah.
Try to put that in your game. Like
Mhm.
I went on a cruise for the first time in my life. I'm very poor. Like very, very poor. I went on a Carnival cruise for the first time in my life, and just seeing the ocean from this giant ship that I was on was amazing
Mhm.
to me.
Oh yeah. It's so
And
beautiful the first time.
yes, and just mapping out that environment, just you're just on this big ship with ocean all around you. Like you just gotta you
Like
gotta
that's what
take that in.
Titanic created. That's why people love that
Yes,
movie, is because
yes,
the feeling, the aesthetic, like the energy of what you're seeing. James Cameron, the director, is kind of good at that, I guess, is like
yeah,
the feeling of what you're, not just what you're seeing, but what it makes you feel. And I just tried to apply that to a map making sense, I guess. Like,
and his
yeah.
last name is my first name, so
All right. Well, there you go. Yeah.
no,
Same
no, I'm
guy.
sincerely though, like almost every map you see in any game ever has taken inspiration from like a real place. So
Mhm.
like if you
Like,
can, if you have the money, travel, go look around at these new interesting places and take inspiration.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know
awesome.
the Washa Village little shack thing, Cam, that
Mhm.
has like the diary in there,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where it's like just a random
With
shack
the
that
yeah, with the journal that says yeah. I know exactly what you're talking
yeah.
about. In a
Well,
wash.
that's actually a real place in Massachusetts, in Provincetown, Mass.
You motherfucker.
Massachusetts.
I knew that felt too real to be from your brain, dude.
You motherfucker.
Well, I
Ain't
did
no
live in
way this
I
motherfucker made this
did
shit up.
I lived there when I was like 22 years old.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's
Dude.
like an LGBT like part of Massachusetts, but it's
Yeah,
this shack that's completely like far out in the dunes, and
Mhm.
yeah.
anyone, it like belongs to the town, and
Okay.
anyone who needs to like artists can apply to stay there for a week or something, and
Awesome.
like do their paintings or write their book or whatever they need. I don't know, but
Yeah. That's
I just
awesome,
thought
dude.
that
Yeah.
concept was so beautiful, so I just put it into the game, and
I,
I think no one would have ever noticed that, but
it's funny when
yeah.
it's funny, man, when you gave me the lines to put in that journal. Like I feel like I was thinking at that time that I was writing all that out. That like I feel like this is some place Aaron stayed. Like that's wild, dude. That's beautiful though.
And
Like
also when I stayed in
Mhm.
I think you already know this, but I went to Mexico City the last like
Mhm.
couple months that Beloved Rapture was
that's why we
finishing.
were working. Yeah.
Yeah, like when we were cramming, it was so funny that I was there. It made the whole thing like more like hyper real, you know.
Oh, we gotta finish this
But
game.
I was
Let's go to
fucking
fucking
there, and I
Mexico.
was like, and my partner was like, "Hey, let's go to like go out every night," and I was like, "No, I have a game to finish." Like, yeah,
I
but
remember that. I remember that vividly.
it's literally like my next project. There's like an Alexandria, sort of like what we did with Beloved Rapture, but it's more of a cyberpunk setting. So
Yeah.
it's like almost like if you can imagine Midgar from Final Fantasy VII, the end,
Yes,
when it's
sir. Yeah.
all like forested over.
Mhm.
But imagine you can actually explore that. Like
That's the whole world
so,
of Nihilo, dude.
and I was yeah, kind of yeah, and that's what I felt when I was in Mexico City though. Like they have
Yeah.
these beautiful like
They
entire neighborhoods where the trees are so huge, and
they let nature
you're
take over.
it's
Yeah.
literally like you're in a forest when you're walking down to get your coffee. Like
Yeah.
it was beautiful. So
Yeah.
I was like, I want to do that, and then merge that with Blade Runner and see what I come up with. Like I just feel like it's cool to add it with your theme, but also take inspiration from something
Definitely.
real, makes it feel
Yeah.
real.
Yep.
That's a good question though.
Yes. Any other questions about Shadow Seeker before we move on?
Ben, thank you for giving us your day to this episode. Like,
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Man.
as I said earlier, like it was a true joy to watch you and Riggy's playthrough, and just the years of work that Cameron and I put in, just seeing our friends, like in particular, like play that, it was really special. So
Yeah, I appreciate you, dude, and I appreciate you, Riggy. I appreciate
Hell
you
yeah.
guys so much.
Of course.
I really did like when Blonde put me onto the project. I was like, all right, let's fucking make this a thing. Let's make this a fucking commercial successful goddamn game. I really tried, man. Like with 2K3, I tried with all my might to make this a
I'd
game.
say we
that
did
was
pretty
like,
well
dope.
considering
I think we did, man.
everything that
I think we
happened
did.
and set the production back. Like I won't name all the things, but yeah,
Dude, yeah.
I'm still proud of it. Like the fact
Yeah.
that it's
Absolutely.
that engine in particular, you know.
The menu,
And I
the
probably
menu.
will never release a game in that engine again. But I'm glad to say that as you said, like I'm glad to say that we did do it. You know,
I gotta say, if there's one thing I'm proud of in that game, 100%, it's the menu. Even though it may be fucked up.
everyone loved it.
That menu, I am like, I tried my goddamnedest to make that dope for a 2K3 game. So
Yeah.
I think it took you over 3 months to do it.
God, fuck yeah, it did.
Yeah. You know what? That's how long it took me to make my menu.
Dude,
Wow.
isn't it some
Really?
shit?
Wow.
Isn't it
Yeah.
some shit, Koopa? Like
Yeah.
to make the simplest thing, but probably one of the most important things.
Yeah.
So fucking
UI.
memorable and
Yeah.
yes, UI is
And then-
very important, man.
And then having to I just keep track of the whole menu with your inventory and your ammo and combining this and that. And then
Dude, if you are not relying on 2K3's built-in shit, yes. God damn it, dude. That is
all the
some
loops
shit.
and everything.
And
it's funny 'cause
yeah.
this one guy was playing it and then he was saying oh, it'd be cool if you can combine items by putting them in the storage box. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, motherfucker, you know how long that takes?
It'd be cool if you could fuck yourself, dude. Dude, fucking moving from 2K3 to Unity, giant step. Moving from that and realizing how they don't give you a built-in menu. You design it from A to Z.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's no, sir. You get what I give you. Oh my fucking god, man! It's wild what goes into game design. It has given me such a massive appreciation of indie developers. Not Sea of Stars, Aaron. Don't worry, not them. They obviously were the whole team.
They're not in indie as far as I'm concerned.
They're not. You're fucking right. And
Thank
you
you.
know what? I when you said that way back, I was like, yo,
I ruffled a lot of feathers by even saying
no,
that.
but you're right, dude.
You know what's crazy?
As soon as I took this on, I was like, they're not. They had a team of fucking 50 people. That's not an indie team. That's a team.
No,
team.
it was more than 50.
And the
I know, Aaron.
The general consensus was that
Go
it
on
was still
YouTube
mid-
and watch the credits, Cameron.
It's fucking wild.
Go on
dude.
YouTube
You're
right now and watch them. You'll see.
You're 100% wild. I used to think you were just talking out of your ass because you were you were from
They thought I
up
was just
north
jealous,
and you
yeah.
had all these fucking ideas about shit. And then I looked into it and I was like, no, Aaron is 100%. Aaron is 100% right.
Shit.
They are not an indie team. You
I
know
do
who
have
was
some
an indie
ideas.
team? You do. You got some good ideas. They are not indie though. Chained Echoes, that was one fucking dude. You know what I'm saying? That's wild that he created this shit. And if anybody here hasn't played Chained Echoes yet, by the way, you're fucking missing out.
I think that's one of the RPGs that I respect the most. Just even if the story isn't my cup of tea, just the sheer
he does
the sheer creationism of it.
Yes,
you know?
sir. Yes, sir. He was so influenced by Xenogears, which is one of my favorite games.
Right. I still need to get to it.
Yeah, you do. You do need to get to it, Aaron. Unbelievable that you're 34 years old, an RPG fan, and you've never played Xenogears. Unfucking believable.
Oh wow, yeah.
Now you sound like Koyo now.
All right.
That's pretty good.
That's fine.
Any more about
Wait
Shadow
a minute.
Seeker, or should we move on?
No, we should get more into Shadow Seeker real quick, though.
I think
a quick, tiny survey. Just a quick, tiny survey.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Who's played Xenogears here?
No.
God damn it.
You'll be shocked at what I haven't played.
Oh my
Riggy knows.
fucking god.
Riggy knows.
Koopa, please be the saving grace in this conversation.
No, but
yeah, no,
Koopa does
I've
love Chrono.
played it.
Or wait. I'm thinking of something else.
Koopa, if you said something, I didn't hear you, my man.
I've played Xenogears.
Did you love it?
I liked it. I mean, I wouldn't say I really loved it, but I liked it. It was good.
Oh, heart,
Yeah,
dude.
I don't know. On the PS1 era, Chrono Cross is my favorite still.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I remember you loved Chrono Cross the most.
Yeah,
Which
man.
surprised
get
me.
I don't know what it is.
Wait, so you love Chrono Cross
Interesting.
more than
That's-
FF7, Akuba?
Yeah, I do.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm
Oh
serious.
my
That's
god.
wild, dude.
Bro,
It's
But what about you?
honestly,
Cam? Is Xenogears your
I think
favorite?
it's the soundtrack. I honestly think it's the
It's
soundtrack.
no question. The soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the soundtrack
No, I get
mixed
that.
with the art. I don't know. The art just looks really damn pretty too.
It still holds
look.
up.
There
too.
only
It looks
there may
gorgeous.
be only 30 tracks in Xenogears original soundtrack, but it is still probably the best. It's from the motherfucker. He worked on Chrono Trigger. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
That's all
Yeah,
needs to
same-
be said.
same composer as Chrono Cross too.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
it is.
it was Mitsuda.
Yasunori Mitsuda.
Yeah,
That's his
yes.
name. Yeah.
What's the latest thing that he's done?
I don't fucking know. Xenogears is all that what matters. I'm sorry, Benny. Let's continue the actual podcast.
I
I'm sorry,
gotta
dude.
gotta
That's
exercise
me.
my powers of curation here with the
Yes,
host
do it.
duties. But
Do it.
anything else to close off our Shadow Seeker segment? Any last questions? I think because we got.
I have a question
Okay.
on Shadow
Yo.
Seeker. Do you plan on making like a sequel to Shadow Seeker, or is that it? Like this was one game and that's all?
I have a question too, by the way, after that.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much. There's 3 endings to the game.
Okay. Right.
There's one ending in particular. The way it ended, I really liked it, and I really feel like it could lead into a sequel.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
debating. It could happen.
Okay.
And that's
All
not
right.
even like the best ending you can get.
Would you move to a different engine if you wanted to do a Shadow Seeker 2, let's say?
I might, but
Right on.
I
Okay.
feel like I can still pull some good shit in 2K3.
You could absolutely. Obviously,
You
you've done
totally
it
could.
once, so
I
This
feel
is
like
definitely not the. sorry, this-
they'll like get to a point where I'm just like, okay, I'm good with this engine. I don't want to make any more.
that answers all of my questions. Thank you.
Yeah. If you don't feel that yet, then I mean there's more to do. So
Yeah, yeah. I don't not just yet.
Damn.
I see. And someone else had a question as well. I forgot.
Yeah, you don't have to answer this, Koopa, but I was wondering if you had any. I know we've already talked about this privately, but yeah, did you have any ideas for how you saw it releasing and everything?
Well, since the game's already officially done right now, all I want to do is just test it for a good solid freeze,
yeah.
just
That's the
ironing
best
everything
idea.
out, polishing it. And before I even consider releasing it publicly, I don't know, man. I kind of want to like look into releasing it kind of commercially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just
feel
about
like
to
I've
ask.
been trying to tell him for years, like to just think about it, and now I feel like he's gotten to the end and he's realizing this game is incredible and it should be released this way.
My third question, and this is the last one. I was just about to ask, going off Blinds, if Shadow Seeker became commercially, what's the word I'm looking for? Let me just say it in the simplest Southern term. If Shadow Seeker, if Shadow Seeker became big, would you consider remaking it in a new engine as like a commercial project?
I would if I had help, because I don't think I would do it by myself.
Okay, I'd help you.
Why do you think that he'd have to remake it, Cam?
Because it's in 2K3, and there are, let's be honest, there are limitations that cannot be met by other engines.
Yeah, no, there are.
Yeah, but I mean,
especially for an action RPG.
Part of the game. I mean,
it is, but it could be wild in a new engine that is not limited by 2K3's 4 directions,
right.
menu system, etc.
For example, like if the opportunity came and like it was possible and there was like funding for it, and
yes, if some motherfucker came up to you and was like, "Hey,
yeah,
I want to make your dream a success,"
yeah, then definitely I would do it. There's a
Amir
lot
from
to
Tejas, Louise
Yeah.
from
I was just
Tejas.
asking because I feel like the game already plays so well.
It does.
Like he would have to do is just put in like whatever audio or visuals had to be updated, and it could be sellable. It already plays so well, So
I'm really proud of you, Koopa, and I'm like,
Me too.
I hope this game blows up for you, man. Like,
Yeah.
sincerely,
Yeah.
like, I think it should.
it's incredible.
Because if ABC Gamer did this, like, did a fucking, like demo, he played the demo of your shit. Like, it should probably see some more traction as a full fucking blown game. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's wild you did this in 2K3, dude, man.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping it does make some waves. I have a feeling.
I hope it does too.
I'm pretty confident. I'm confident enough that it will. There's some very
I think
shit
so.
that I feel like I outdid myself in.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
You definitely did. Yeah.
The one thing you gotta just keep doing is just keep pushing it, because people will push their game and then they'll be like, it's fine, it's all whatever. But you just keep pushing it, because as soon as the right person finds it, it doesn't matter how fucking old it is. Somebody, like, it will pop as it's supposed to. It's pretty neat.
Yeah,
I think that game's got the, like, I mean, I played so many different versions of Shadow Seeker, and like as it is now, it's like people, we will all be like, yo, this is pretty cool RPG Maker game, but like other people are going to be like, this is a crazy retro like shooting Resident Evil game, and like
right now a lot of people in the RPG Maker 2K3 environment know about this, but if it gets out, I think a lot of other people would appreciate it too. Riggy's right, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
We can definitely make that happen. I mean,
yeah.
Thank you so much for talking about Shadow Seeker, Koopa. We could go on and on. We really could. It's true, but it's getting to midnight for some of us. Not me, but for some of us. So I figured we might move on. We might not even.
And he's like, "Shut the fuck up." Let's move on, bitches.
I'll be honest, it's better than the alternative. It's harder to get people to talk who won't talk, so it's great when people are chatty. I enjoy it. I love it, but I'm just talking about it's coming to midnight. I don't really want people to force people to stay awake who don't want to, but I also want to.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
You want to move to Riggy's? Is that okay?
Yeah. Well,
Can we do mine last? Like, I feel like I have to build myself up to do mine.
Okay. I was going to.
Is that okay?
Yeah. I was going to give the option, since technically Riggy was a co-host. I could have a separate podcast with him when Deluge ends.
No. He doesn't deserve a separate podcast.
He's so real. So real.
Riggy is not a co-host. Riggy is not a fucking add-on. He is a fucking entity himself, and I want him to be in this. Sincerely,
maybe.
But I will.
Thanks, buddy.
I will fucking talk about my game if you want me to, even though it's bare, man. It's just it is what it is. Before I worked on Beloved Rapture, man. Like, it's the same shit. Like, I'm just picking it up from there.
I will say though that when you shared that first, like, you shared an initial clip into that 2K3 Discord, and you showed like what you were doing, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I probably said that out loud, because like it's a night and day. Like you have the visuals started, you have the atmosphere still there. Like you've already written like most of the game, haven't you? Like,
yes, sir. Not me. Piano TM. His name is Thomas
nice.
Myers. I wish he could be on this podcast with me, to be honest with you. Benny, you know Thomas Myers. You know Piano TM, right?
I do. Yeah.
I want to say that. I almost want to say that you recommended him to me. I can't remember Benny, but he, I reached out to this fella. I had a guy from Russia writing my story. Let's move on. You know what? Do you want to introduce this as Nihilo's thing?
Yeah.
Nihilo's thing?
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Should we go into Nihilo? Yeah, we'll go to Nihilo first then.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Awesome. Yeah. No. I let's talk about Nihilo, a game by Giznads. It's a throwback to the 90s post-apocalyptic or cyberpunk era. We follow the protagonist Estes and his party as they journey to uncover the truth behind the calamity. So it's just like it's very body horror-esque. It's got a lot of like sci-fi tendencies. Very cool imagery. I'm thinking of like maybe Blade Runner. I don't know, some different. There's specific Terminator, different types of energy going on here, but it's like a mishmash of
love
these
Mad
genres.
Max.
Mad Max.
Love C2, love Mad Max. Yeah, those.
Yeah, I
are
was just gonna say,
Nice.
yeah, very Mad Max more than any
Mad
of those.
Max.
Yeah.
But guys, I want this to also be on an RPG level. Like like I love also Final Fantasy VII. I love Chrono Trigger. I wanna squish all those things into one ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Suikoden I just played for the first time in my life, and I'm
Oh
hugely
wow.
influenced by that now.
I can see the
Suikoden
sprites.
2. Yeah. As I was playing Suikoden 2, I realized like, oh, my shit's kind of similar to this, and I played through it, and I was like, I want to do shit like that, dude. 100%. Like, I'm very influenced by that. I'm very influenced by Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VII, Xenogears, giant for me, which none of you plebs know about.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing for me. Okay, anyway, so I got a new writer. I had a writer from Russia. His name was NTC3. I don't know what happened to him. He dropped off the face of the earth.
Wait, you got a new writer?
I got a new writer, Thomas Myers,
Oh,
Piano
Piano
TM.
TM. Oh, yeah.
Yes, Piano TM from St. Louis. We're very close to each other. We talk very frequently. We're pretty close to each other. He's very, God, how do I put this? He reminds me of a Star Trek fan. You know what I mean? Like very much into. I don't know. I feel like that's a different subset of like nerdism than we are. But also like he's doing a really good job with the story, and I think the story. I gave him a general outline of what I want the beginning and ending to be, and he made that like a thing. He made it exactly how I wanted it to be. He's very familiar with Xenogears. He's very familiar with FF7. He very much adapted his story to be that story that I wanted. I'm not going to give too much away, but it is very AI based. It is very
Interesting.
And to be clear, AI based on the ideas of AI, not using AI technology. Yeah, just because we need to nowadays we need to be clear about that. Like, it's about AI.
Oh no,
yeah.
Yeah, it is about AI, but I'm going to be straightforward with you for the podcast and for everybody listening. I do use AI to program my game 100%.
Right.
I have, taken a game that was made in RPG Maker 2003 and I've moved it over to a very advanced engine compared to 2K3 Unity, and I have 100% used ChatGPT AI to help me develop scripts and coding for my game, which I think is very fitting.
Yeah.
I think it's super fitting for the game.
I think that's completely fine to use, especially for coding.
Yeah. So look, I don't get on.
It's weird how people have moral differences in terms of art assets versus code. But yeah.
I got no morals.
My game is going to explore those themes too. I was like, I want to take all these different opinions and just like put them into a narrative. Like,
yeah, see, this is very similar.
I really want to see like how different your story is, Cam.
I generally,
it's going to be like such. Yeah, it's going to be funny.
Sincerely, I have no morals when it comes to this game because I will 100% get on ChatGPT and be like, "Hey, how do I make this work?" And I'll take their script that ChatGPT makes for something I've asked for, and it doesn't get it right like 50% of the time, but it helps me. It helps me understand Unity, the engine itself.
Right.
And I'll take what it gives me and fucking expand on that. Right. Mm-hmm. I do think it's fitting for the game I'm making, considering does deal with AI, and that's all I'll say. Like I don't want to give too much story away, but
Was that in the initial story as well?
yes, before I even knew what Chat GPT
Wow.
was.
So Cam, do you think that does your story have like a philosophical opinion about AI, or you don't want to give that away yet?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna give it away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really interested to see it.
Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't. I can't just say it because that'll give away
Right,
the
because
whole
you don't
moral.
even want to
Yeah,
comment. Yeah, because it would be
yeah,
too
yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you
Interesting.
But
experience the
me and
story and you
Thomas-
get the morals as you go. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Like I want a lot of people that have played the
Yeah, you never
demo,
want to like say what your message is right on the outside, because
Correct.
then
Yeah. I think a lot of people that have played the demo, especially the extended demo that I put out, Chapter 2, I think Riggy may have been one of the only ones that played that.
Yeah, I saw his playthrough of it.
May have
Was
been
that where
one
you
of
were
the-
like you're fighting some dude like throwing poison and shit?
Yes, sir. You get all the way
Oh,
up to Chapter
yeah.
2 in Riggy's demo. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing
Did I
that.
not
Him
play
and
that?
some
I
of
can't- I don't think
some
I
other
did.
you didn't, Benny. You didn't get to
Oh,
it. You were doing other
whoopsies.
shit.
Whoops, my bad.
Benny, I can send it to you. Like,
Okay.
Damn, you still have it? Send it my way.
yeah, I'll do that. I'll send it out also. That's fine. But I don't want the consumer to know. I don't want to give too much away to the consumer. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Oh, that makes sense.
to
Yeah,
the
you never want to
consumer,
like.
did you like Contra? Did you like Xenogears? Did you like Final Fantasy VII? If you did, you will like Nihilo.
Yeah.
100%. I think it'll be even deeper than those games, and I feel like that's a big claim. But
damn,
I
Oh
think,
my god.
Okay.
I
All
think-
right.
Wow.
Okay.
I believe in
Dude,
you.
It ain't me, man. It ain't me. It's Thomas, man.
I was actually skimming through that script right now. He's going off, bro.
It's my writer, man. He's doing such a good job, man.
That's crazy. Everything is
That is cool.
detailed.
I would have loved to have him on this episode. You know, hindsight 2020, but I would have loved to have him on this episode with us. He would have probably been like, Cameron, shut your drinking ass up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Alrighty. Yeah, that's great. Anyone else have questions about Nihilo?
Yeah, ask all the questions, guys. Any
Combat in Nihilo. When do you think that'll start getting implemented?
Koopa, Amir, that's where I'm at right now.
Oh shit!
So look, I've got the basics of gameplay down, right? I've got moving, I've got running, I've got control config, all that shit down, right? Okay. So where I'm at right now is the menu, which is a huge part of the game, the UI, the menu and the UI, and the battle system. And for the menu, I'm really set on where I want to go with it. Like I got some ideas. But for the battle system, I'm like, I'm in Unity now. I'm no longer limited to turn-based. I'm no longer limited to 2K3. I love turn-based combat. That's one of my favorite genres of games. It's my most favorite genre of games. But I don't know if I want to turn it into an action RPG or a turn-based RPG. They're both great.
It has all the mechanics to be both.
Yes.
Yeah, literally,
Yes,
it
it
could
does.
be either one. Yeah.
That's exactly right, and that's where my brain is. I'm like, what the fuck do I want to do with this thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it could go either way. So I'm at a crossroads with that. So Nihilo could either go action or turn-based. Both would be great. And maybe I can find some crazy middle ground that, you know, Final Fantasy VII Remake promised to do but didn't really deliver on. Like maybe I could find some crazy middle ground that works out for everybody, but that's a huge accomplishment.
It looked like you were even trying to do that in the old version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. I'd love to once we put this podcast out, I'd love to get the opinion of everybody that listened, like what they're more into. So
Cameron, do you
know what?
remember, was the original Nihilo ATB or was it
It was CTB. It was.
So you did like a wait mode even for that
Yes,
back
sir.
then, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I did a turn-based combat, and
Okay,
I mean,
so you probably I can see you either going all or nothing then. In terms
absolutely, and I'm right there
Yeah.
with you in my my.
But I can
brain.
see what Koopa's saying too, where you have some type of hybrid, which is what I was saying for him too. I mean, I see his being.
Hey man, maybe
more,
I'll revolutionize the fucking gaming industry, dude. Watch out, brothers.
Let's do it.
That's not gonna happen. I'm just
Let's
kidding.
see it.
Hey, who knows? Who knows?
You never know. Yeah, hey,
I'm
you never know,
Listen, I'm
baby.
riding. I'm riding.
Yeah.
Hey, if any of you motherfuckers got an idea, throw them at me.
Any other questions about Nihilo? What's some thoughts?
Come on, Riggy, what you got?
Hate this game. Gotta fight big monsters and then I gotta do this other thing where I fight more monsters. Then I gotta climb a building.
Sincerely, do you like the atmosphere or not?
Oh, dude, I love the
Really?
atmosphere. The whole beginning of the game really pulls you in, and you're just exploring. And you have this little robot guy that makes the most adorable beep sound every couple seconds, and you're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
R2D2 of RPG.
He's like on par with the Star Wars like robot.
Yes.
Yeah, for yes.
I love that, dude. It just was so much fun to play, and like I'm excited to see it get like the whole like complete transformation and everything, because it just, I feel like you have this great idea and you've pushed the boundary, and now you're at a point where you're like, wow, I don't need the boundaries. Now I just have complete access to everything, and like you're going to be able to really like flesh out your vision, I think.
Thank you, Bubba. Yeah,
man.
Yeah, absolutely right. Koopa, you got anything to say about my shitty game?
Besides wanting to see some combat and stuff, I feel like, man, that transition to Unity makes it look so fucking clean, bro.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I've really tried to make it like very.
I had a question about that, Cam. So how has it been? Yeah, like switching to like a new resolution and a new art style too, like in terms of how you're.
Can I be honest with you without
it really it keeps the same like vibe exactly almost, but
thank you. That's what I went for.
It's I think it's a lot better. Yeah.
Thank you. It's been great, man. Like it's been a pain in the assholes for sure. Like learning like C# coding.
Do you think that was going to offend me? That's that phrase.
Like,
no.
No. As soon as you had shared that video of like the footsteps, I already knew which map it was in the game. Like,
yeah. Like
you knew.
Like it feels like the same one exactly.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, like that transition is there, bro. Like you could see, you could still see it.
So you remember the original?
Yeah, where the kid falls down from the.
My god, that melts my fucking heart, dude.
Yeah, I remember too. I remember.
All right, Benny, come on. Stop sucking that.
Yeah, man, it looks good.
Thank you, guys.
Can't wait to see what you do.
You guys just drive me to do it. Like as hard as I can for sure.
I'm just glad I don't have to be busting my ass anymore for a while.
I have to ask if I had to take a poll, but just between you five guys, what would you rather, if you were to take Nihilo as a game, what kind of combat do you see as like the main combat of the game? Can I just start with Benny?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's hard to say without actually seeing it. I'm pretty sure you could pull off either one. I'm sorry, I'm unhelpful here because I'm just
that's fine, sir.
Yeah,
I have an answer. What
do you have?
Well, I honestly think Benny's right. Like you could pull off either one, and I just see Nihilo as becoming more and more like kinetic, like energetic, like with the new engine, like it seems even more intuitive, and just walking around, going through the puzzles, the environments and stuff. I could see with the crazy bosses, like the brutality that you had before. I just think it could work with an ATB also.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think you could do either one. Yeah. So.
All right. I like that answer. Dude, here's what's huge to me, guys. I wouldn't have thought
that before I saw the new version. Is what I'm saying. Like,
I only
saw it as turn-based before.
Yeah.
So here's a huge thing to me, guys, is death animations, especially for boss.
Yeah. Oh,
Do
that's
you
my
guys?
bread and butter.
I knew Koopa would like that. But before I ask, go on any further, do you think that would be more suitable in an action combat system or a turn-based combat system?
Well, I mean,
I'll go back to Benny for this and just keep going forward. If that's okay, Benny.
I don't know anything about that. I'll be honest. I'll just.
You don't remember playing my game, you motherfucker?
I did. It's no. I like the boss death animations. They're great. I don't know. I don't know how. Like the amount of effort it takes to do is probably massive, and I don't.
A lot, Benny.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I don't know. I like it. I don't know.
I want to stick to the traditional turn-based because, that's just who I am. Like that's the games I grew up on. That's the games I love. Action also.
Plus, I feel like all the beloved Rapture fans will follow you as well.
Yeah.
And
Oh, come on.
they're
Stand on my way, motherfucker. Stand on my way.
Exactly. Yeah. And they're
Tell
gonna
him
be
Estes is gay. Tell him.
No, shut up. No, they're gonna be wanting just good turn-based stuff.
Yeah,
true.
You're right.
You know, there's that route too.
I spent a lot of time you getting to know a lot of your fans, and they didn't give a shit about any of the politics about it. They genuinely were interested in the game, and I love that about your fan base, man.
Well, it's our fan. I mean, I feel like that's the game that we
it is our fan base.
Yeah,
right?
That's the game that we set out to make was not like that, So I think that's why it reflects in the fans.
It's hard to not be like, oh yeah, politics were involved in this. It's hard in this day and age because that's.
But then again, this game was made over 8 years too, so it's not like any one set of politics or moments where
that's
everything for the game.
That's all think about. That's all people think about nowadays. Like that's a huge part of story.
So I had a question for Nihilo too to round it out, but I know for my next game I really want to be. Maybe this will disappoint some people, but I want to be even more political. I want to just lay everything to bear that I'm feeling and thinking as a writer, since I'm being the creator and the writer and the developer and everything. Mm-hmm. So, I was wondering how you thought about that, Cam, or any of you guys. Do you feel like that should be part of games, or is it something to be avoided? Or
I'm going to be honest.
Does it depend on who the creator is? Like if it's done tastefully or not tastefully, or does it? I'm just wondering what you guys thought about that because I've been thinking about that a lot. Like, now that I have a little tiny bit of popularity from Beloved Rapture, what could I say to that audience, or is there anything to be said, or should I just give them more of what they want from another game or something?
This may be an unpopular opinion from a man from down south where everybody's conservative. But I think you should keep your middle ground, Aaron. As long as I've known you working on Beloved Rapture as probably a very liberal guy, I think anybody's the best decision they can make is to keep it pretty neutral, dude. There's good stuff on both sides. As simple as I could put that. There are. I hate to get political, man.
I wasn't even meaning in the wordly political sense of the tribes as we knew them, but just like since we're both and Benny, feel free to edit this out too, but since we're both doing AI subjects too, I was like, how can we say something about AI without it being a little bit political? How can we say something to condemn these people who have a God complex? How can we say something meaningful without it being just I don't know.
Isn't there
I think you make it as human as possible, you don't.
Yeah, true. Without blaming one side, but just say
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You just make it human. We're all humans at the end of the day, you just make it as we all share one thing about each other. We shit, we sleep, we fuck, we
Some of
We
us
don't
do.
want AI take over. Like, can we agree about
we
that?
don't.
Like,
We don't. We
and
do
so,
not.
how do we navigate to that future? What people do need to criticize? Like,
That's
you know what I
one thing
mean?
we
Like,
have in
it's-
yeah. That's one
Right.
thing we have in common. We're beings who, aside from political shit, we just we live.
Hey, Aaron, have you played Deus Ex? I think it's called Mankind Divided.
Actually, no, I haven't.
That's exactly what that game deals with.
Deus Ex.
Yeah.
I've heard that series really praised though.
Bro, draw some
But
asset.
that's exactly what that game's about.
I haven't played Detroit Become Human either.
Yeah.
But I know there's a few of them that have dealt with this subject, but I don't even know how many of them have on the indie level the last few years. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of them ramping out. But
Yeah. I think if I were to put my 2 cents in there, every, I guess, creator, when you're writing or when you're creating a world, I think there's just inherent messages that are in it, whether we realize it or not. And I think it's just we sort of it's so, everyone can make the type of game that they'd like, but it's like I think the main thing is being aware. Probably it's best to be aware of how strong of the message you're pulling and whether you're okay with dealing with the consequences of what you're saying. Because I actually do believe there is a place for very strong statements to be made in art, and I think sometimes it gets backlash, for example, but it's a good way of spreading messages and culture, and that's what people have done with art throughout history, basically. So it's just a decision we have to make if we're making these things. Then the how and the why. I mean, usually asking questions is a good way of not coming down as condescending or anything. You ask questions, and you might even imply very strongly your point of view. But at the end of the day, if you're asking questions, I think it forces people to question and think about it
people
for
can
themselves.
contend with it in their own way.
Yeah.
I don't want to insert any kind of politics in my game, to be honest with you, because people are so divided right now.
Yeah.
This is not a good time to do that. It's just really not. Like
Well, even that sort of message can come through in your games where it's like there's a lot of division that can cause. I think even if we think about Beloved Rapture, there's a little bit of that in there as well as a message.
Yep.
Absolutely. Messaging.
I think the best I think the best
Maybe.
message we can put out right now is on a
Depends.
human level. Just like non-political, just be human.
Did you
Like,
find that ever distasteful, Benny, in terms of how much that Beloved Rapture humanized some like killers or anything, just people who seemed irredeemable?
I'm a big fan of the developer Colunio, and he does that to an extreme. So
really?
Think, So if anyone has played a Colunio game, you'll know what I mean. So I'm
that's true.
Like, but beautiful escape dungeoneer. You play as a dungeoneer, and then there's also different. Yeah, I'm actually.
You love the psychologically deranged characters.
There's rape and murder.
I enjoy.
I mean, it's nothing people haven't seen. So
yeah.
Well, I think it's when games ask you questions. That's the one that I prefer. It's they can be seen as challenging because it's like, oh, here's a question. What if this?
That was a fucked up game to play as a younger adult.
Yeah.
This game.
Beautiful escape at Dungeoneer.
You had him on your podcast, I'm pretty sure, right?
I'm good friends with the Colunio.
It's a 2K3 game.
2K3, it's
he got a lot of flack for putting out Beautiful Escape. A lot of flack. Like, he got a lot of bad reviews. Like, oh yeah, rape is never okay. Like, he got a lot of flack, but like, he was doing a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let me be clear. To be
it's not like he was like, yeah, let's
art.
fucking go out and rape. He was never.
All his games are deeper than that.
Yeah, they're often metaphorical and treated
there's kind of a
taste,
superficial reading you can give to any game, including what they did to ours. I feel like.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that too, because
you're right.
I don't even know the game, but I just feel like there is a way to be reductive about all of these games. So, Cameron, is the robot character an actual character?
Yeah, and it's gonna probably.
I was thinking of that topic too. Like, since I have a few Android robot characters.
Did you guys play Oh god, what's The Last Guardian? Did you guys play that?
I watched
playing
it
it
played,
now.
yeah. Oh.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
The
Riggy.
Last Guardian.
Yeah.
Is that the one from the Shadow of the Colossus people?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. One of the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
I like the
games
dog.
ever made in the world.
The little Chihuahua looking dragon thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
big
like 'em.
dog.
I
Big
think he's
dog
cute.
with wings.
That is good.
I just want to play on people's emotions because I think throughout the game I'm gonna get you really attached to this robot, which is wild. It's a fucking robot. You
Wait,
dummies.
it's a robot in that game? I thought it was
Yeah.
like a creature.
It's
No,
no,
Nihilo,
no,
about
no,
Nihilo.
sir. It's
Okay,
definitely a
sorry.
robot.
It's a little drone.
So-
the little
Yeah,
drone
it's
thing
a
in
little-
Nihilo that's following
Oh,
you
okay. I'm
around.
sorry. I thought he was still talking about the Last Guardian.
Yeah, he was,
sorry.
and then he came back to Nihilo, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
We'll see where it goes, man. Like we'll see if
Yeah.
it lasts forever or not.
I remember the old
Mhm.
2K3 version was more not really a character, but just more so like
Well, the old
An
2K3
ex-
version,
Yeah,
Oxy
it would fight.
is this name.
It
It's
would fight in
going to help
combat.
you out a lot more than
oh, that's true. Yeah, he would.
in the old ones.
Yeah.
It's going to be much more useful,
Nice.
and it's you're going to grow very much more attached.
Cool. Yeah, so what you're
This
basically
fella.
saying is, yeah.
We'll see, Koopa. Shut up.
Let's play jazz with the story. We'll see where it goes.
We'll see where it goes, man.
Anyway, okay, wow. But yes, any more questions about Nihilo? We might be, yeah.
You guys want to know where the story ends? You guys, anybody want to know
Spoiler.
what like the fucking ending is?
No, we can read the document later. We are being recorded. I don't want to spoil it for our audience who should go and play a game when it's released.
It's interesting. I know you haven't read through all of it because I just spent it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty freaking. Thomas did a real good job with
Yeah.
it.
100 pages.
Yes,
We'll see
sir,
which
100
one of us has the more better AI story.
Fuck you, Blonde. Me.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So friendly competition.
I love you, Blonde. Quit your game and come to me.
That's why I need to know what side you're on.
No, I would.
As long as it's not the Elon side, you're fine.
I'll end this. I'll end this on Benny. I'll end this on. I hope this game becomes pretty successful.
Yeah.
Like I know that sounds like douchey probably, but I hope it reaches a lot of people, and I hope I've been playing the lottery every day. I hope I win the lottery and can devote all my time to this game because
The plot twist is that Oxy has a Tesla logo on back.
Yeah, no, that's very sweet because I mean, it is a developer's dream to have other people play their game, and just being successful in that way is going to be, if it happens, it's going to be great, and I hope that the very best for you as well, Giznads. That Nihilo
I think you absolutely will,
succeed,
Cam. Like you are so talented, and you made my dream like become more of a reality than I ever thought. So
Thank you,
it's definitely going to happen for you. Don't worry.
I hope that this story blows people's.
I'll make
fucking
sure.
minds. I want Thomas to fucking really fucking blow people out of the fucking. I want this to be original, which is hard to do in this day and age. Every fucking idea has been done.
Yeah.
So it's rough, man. Like, but I want this to be unique. I want people to play this game and be like, wow. In 10 years or so, maybe not even now, like maybe in 10 years or 20 years from now, I want people to say, wow, Nihilo was a really great story. Like, I want people to say that.
A cult classic.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
but cult classic's fine, but immediate classic would be great as well.
You're right, Benny. You're right, but I mean, who can fucking hope for that? Rich people. That's
yeah.
Let's get on to Deluge. I just want to say one last thing about Nihilo.
Yeah.
Buy it. You fucker.
They can't buy it yet. It's not released.
There it is.
When it's released,
I'm
buy
buying.
it.
Yeah,
I bought 3 copies already. I
take
got
my
3
money.
copies.
I got
now.
5. I got 5 copies. Yeah.
You got 5? I got
Yeah.
3 copies.
Pre-order bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing Nihilo with us, and I really hope that we'll just be able to see more and more, updates. And yeah, follow Nihilo, follow Giznads on Twitter and X, and see what they have in store in future for Nihilo.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Awesome.
And Beloved
Alrighty.
Rapture's dope too. Go buy
Yes.
that to fund Nihilo.
I mean, that's a game you can buy right now. Yeah, that's a game you can buy right now. We'll move to Riggy now. What have you been working on lately? I'm aware that you're making a remake of the game Deluge for MZ.
Yes.
Yes.
I made Deluge in 2021, and now I'm making Deluge in 2025. And I guess I was in 2024. But I made Deluge in RPG Maker 2K3, and I was working on a new project called Gentle, and it's kind of like all these games that I played and fell in love with I meshed it into one. It's kind of like what Nihilo's looking like. It's like all the best of these different things. And I, as like a side project, because UPRC had mapped the map in Deluge in RPG Maker MV, I thought it would be fun to move it over to MZ and work on it for fun. And then we ended up with I got so deep in it that now it's like a full rebuild of the game where I like redid the story and I'm doing all that stuff. So
And I've seen your screenshots. It looks really good, dude.
yeah, thank you. That's a lot of the work is like I have a friend named Gimmer, and he's been an incredible, like anything that I've ever wanted in a game, he's like building it. So it's been really great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
For the listeners, Deluge is the story of a village under siege, and as the village of Figaro begins a dangerous tradition, an evil entity arrives to mark their own momentous occasion. When one of their minions goes rogue, he finds himself the key to Figaro's survival. Yeah, it's really atmospheric. It's like you explore around in a foggy town. It looks very 2K3, well, the current version does, with a lot of throwbacks. It's sort of an ode to like the graphics.
Totally.
Like RTP
That's what it gives
graphics.
me too. Yeah.
But like reimagining it in a very horrific scenario, and sort of the atmospheric exploration heavy games of like, the obvious predecessor that I think of, the Yume Nikki, great exploration game, but it's very much more grounded than Yume Nikki in a sense that it's just a town, and there's some, I know Ricky's a big fan of The Longing Ribbon and other such, horror games of its ilk. So definitely, I think it was, you moved from 2K3 to MZ, and then it was a reluctant move, I remember. It was
right.
Yeah, you described like your name is riggy2k3. You love RPG Maker 2K3, and you championed.
It's
2K3.
always a reluctant move, that's for sure. When you
even
I was
Blind,
pigeonholing myself.
Blind's move to MZ was a little bit reluctant as well, I believe. But it's like almost like once you go from 2K3 to MZ, you realize there are still a lot of similarities, and there's still that hacked together nature of everything. If I am to put it in that way, where it's still like, considered an amateurish engine, and that's not even a derogatory term for it, because it means it's available to everyone and accessible to everyone, and it means that you can use its weird edges and its funny little corners of the engine to make it have character and even instill that sense of community. You're using the same engine and you're like, how did you do this? How did you do that? That's one of the greatest things I've found about RPG Maker. So this move to MZ, how's that been for you, Riggy? How are you finding that process of sort of porting it over?
It's great now. Like the same way that Blind was describing, like kind of growing into the engine, like having those opportunities to like learn all the new stuff that you can do, like is always really exciting and amazing. And like you all of a sudden you're like looking at all of these things, like in the context of remaking something, you're like looking at ideas you had before and you're like, actually I could do all this other stuff now and like make it even more interesting or exciting or whatever. But whereas like there were more hurdles in the way, like with the old version. So like that part has been really cool. And super fun.
And it's lovely to get I mean, I've known you for a while, but to get a game made by one of the biggest fans of RPG Maker, like, it's like, because a lot of developers don't get the time or to play other RPG Maker games, but you've played a lot of them and you're developing in it. And you make music, and you stream, and you do YouTube stuff as well. So it's like this, you got your hands in all these different areas. How do you like manage all that? You're game deving, you're streaming, YouTubing, living life, and all this stuff. It's incredible.
Thanks. I don't know how I balance it. I think I just it's my special interest,
Yeah.
It's like just sometimes really like RPG Maker was something that was super exciting to me growing up, and then like now I have befriended so many different like amazing people that make really inspiring stuff, so there's all this like really good like stuff to pull from. And when it comes to like making stuff, I'm always trying to make something. So I love doing the YouTube stuff. I love like playing the games on stream, and I don't even really play games off stream, like story games off stream anymore, because I'm just like, oh, it would be so great to share this or like whatever. And I've gotten really refined, I think, in how and like what I play. So, feels like everything is kind of fitting together in like a nice system for me when it comes to creating. And like, I don't know, people are super supportive too. So
yeah,
it's good stuff.
It's true. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I'll be honest, I know a lot about Deluge MZ. I'm one of the closest people to the production process, and I know a lot about Riggy's process in general. Like, so I'm already aware of a lot of how Riggy works. Anyone else in this call have any questions for Riggy about Deluge or their content, the YouTube stuff, the videos? There was that most controversial RPG Maker games of all time video that came out. That's pretty crazy. Everyone should go check that out. But anyone have any questions for Riggy about this stuff?
I'm sorry, Koopa.
No, you can go.
I just want to say I love your love for RPG Maker.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
I really do, sincerely.
Me too.
Like,
yeah, it's pretty rare, honestly.
I'm not even being funny. Like I know that we fuck around and I send a lot of shit, in the Discord off stream. But sincerely, man, I really do love your love for RPG Maker. Like it warms my heart, man. Like
it's there's just so many good people. I mean, there's so many good people in this community. There's so many people that have been around for so long that like
absolutely.
In addition to just like loving the games and having an affinity for like that style of game or whatever, it's just like a lot of good people that are making good stuff to keep me motivated and like interested. So I appreciate that, but it's like twofold.
And 100%, like I love every project you've ever worked on. If you ever need any help, dude, like
I know that.
Yeah,
you've helped me without even questioning it before.
100%, man. And like you're rigs, dude. I don't give a
appreciate
fuck.
that.
Like you holler, I'm gonna help. Okay, like
yeah. Likewise, it's no brainer with all you guys. Like when when the games are out, when their demos are out, like dude, love playing them. I love like sharing that with you guys too, because like like you guys, you share that special interest brain thing with me.
Yeah.
So
I think you put your shit out before we even did with Beloved Rapture, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure you had Deluge out before.
I think so.
Yeah. And you had like a niche little community like that was like, look at it. And anytime you need help, man. Like I don't know much about art, MZ, but like I will help you to my fullest extent. Like I feel like I've learned some shit.
How was your experience, Ben Rig? Like going to MZ?
Yeah, good question. Yeah.
With MZ?
Yeah. I found so many things surprisingly the same. Like I was really worried, but then I was like, wait, so much of this is the exact same. But I mean, there's enough difference where you feel the benefit. But
I've heard the engine's very similar. Like they moved a lot of shit over, and then like they got some different shit. Like and MZ, like you can put your own custom scripts and what is that? Ruby. It's a Ruby
MZ?
script,
I
right?
think it's JavaScript.
MZ,
JavaScript.
MZ's JavaScript. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you
And
can
like,
you can do so much shit with that.
yeah,
You probably aren't even aware of, but you can probably do so much crazy shit with Java. Like,
yeah. So I work with a programmer named Gimmer, and like he was super good with MV stuff, and so getting into MZ, he's doing the same kind of thing, and like we're just building a battle system. We just gutted the battle system and have been just rebuilding it, and we have like a almost behind the shoulder kind of view, like a Pokemon view with the main character and the enemies, and like I just send him screenshots like that I just made in Photoshop, and I'm just like, what if it looked like this? And we've
so
been building it, and
so
it's
you're still
going along
doing
great.
face forward combat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dope. And MV, like, what? So MV is it default? Is its default battle system face forward or is it side view? I can't even remember.
For MZ, it's I don't remember. I think it's forward,
I
right?
think you can be either one.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
It does
But-
take some scripting and plugins to get, I think, like the monsters animated and everything.
Mhm.
Which
Yeah.
that was one area where I was expecting it to be like, okay, we're still here. Like,
Yeah.
we still have to like go through this
Yeah.
extra step to like do it. But at the same time, it's a lot easier than what we were doing, Cameron.
Yeah,
where-
and
So
you know what I
you're-
mean? Like where we were
so you're-
plugging a whole exterior program to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
repurpose
So-
the thing. Like, yeah.
So you're doing like
Yeah.
face forward, like old school Dragon Quest, right, Riggy?
No, I'm doing it's like Pokemon. It's like over the shoulder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like
Mhm.
a face forward, but a little to the right.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I got you. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Man, I want to see it. I want to see more.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
yeah.
I'm planning on like sharing some stuff. I got accepted to show my game on the floor of Too Many Games, which is like the PAX East of Philadelphia. You know, it's
Okay.
like a huge event. It's thrown by like Retroware Entertainment, who's like these are the guys that worked with like Angry Video Game Nerd and stuff, and they like
Oh, dope.
established their whole brand in Philadelphia, and they have a bunch
Yeah.
of arcades and stuff. Like they do really great, and so I applied for the indie showcase and got picked up for it, and I'm super excited to be on the floor for that because like I just have this RPG Maker 2003 game, so like I'm gonna just kind of spread the gospel a little bit and like share that, and then also have people demo like this new version, and like it's gonna be so like such a cool like it's a very huge accomplishment for me, but it's also like I have so much work to do now before it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I have respect for also anyone who could remake their own game because
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly,
I
same.
would be like,
Fuck
no, it's not being remade. Like,
It's been a pain, dude.
Yeah.
Unless someone else is doing it.
I've rewritten so much stuff because I've put it in the new game and I've been like, this isn't that good actually.
Well, the thing is,
Except
see
for
from-
Koopa.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I see from like watching Riggy's stuff is that you're a very iterative developer, and that you sort of feel the vibe, and then you add a little bit, and you see how it feels, and then it's like atmospheric. I don't believe that everything in Deluge was planned beforehand. It was sort of jazz improvisation as you go. So a lot of it was vibes based. And that's sort of, I think, you're additional as well. That's why you're good at polishing as well. When someone brings up something, you're like, oh, okay, when they play your game, you watch it, and then you go, oh, I'm going to add this and tweak this. And so there's a lot of the patches have been done for the original Deluge. And also this just feels like an extension almost of that sometimes. Like you're just upgrading things little by little where you're like, oh, a plugin could help with that. Oh, this could be redone. Oh, so it's almost like an exploration I've seen you do of like, an expansion in all the ways until you feel like keeping that vibe in check while you're slowly expanding in this new engine instead of just going, there's a little bit of I'm going to create it front to back, but it's almost like just adding little things as you go sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool. It feels like it feels like honestly if I would have just spent another 6 months or whatever working on the original version, but like in the engine before, it's like I'm revisited a lot of stuff, and when the game came out, I was like doing my whole Twitch thing, so I had tons of friends that Twitch, like streamed it on Twitch. So like the next couple weeks I just spent watching people, and then when they would get frustrated with something or like get stuck or find a bug or anything, I would fix it right away and I'd throw that shit right on Steam. And like I can't even fathom the game ever being the way it was like without that. And that's like also why I always try to offer that same experience for developers, because it's just like, dude, like you get this like one-on-one experience with people, but then also like you're just improving the game as you go. I don't know, it was great. So
Yeah,
like a nice back and forth, I think.
Yeah, nice. Any other questions to Riggy?
Gentle. Are you still gonna work on that?
Yeah, dude. I was working on that before I did the remake, and then I got so immersed in this that I put it down. And like that it kind of got tough because like I was building a battle system in common events in RPG Maker MZ, and like everybody who I was working with was like, why don't you just like write it as a plugin or something? So I'm gonna eventually go back, I think, and start over probably with it. But I definitely like that's a game I really want to make. So
Yeah, I like
common
what you were
events.
sharing with that.
Sorry, go ahead, Koopa.
No, I was saying I like the like the screens he was sharing from that project. They look really interesting.
Me too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Common events in MZ work the same as 2K3 or any other engine? Okay.
Yeah, much of that structure is near identical, actually. Event things, the commands might be in different places, but most of the commands are the same.
Dude, it's still the same that if you have somebody that wants to learn RPG Maker and they're like really serious about it, you could still recommend them to do 2K3 because like
move over. Okay.
They'll get the fucking foundations there, and then they can you can use any of them, I think, at that point.
Okay.
If you know how to like work an event and like make an event function and
Cameron,
do stuff.
someone even as clueless as me could figure it out. So
yeah.
So yeah,
in terms of programming, so
that's been a huge ordeal, like with moving over to Unity.
I bet.
Like there's no database, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no like, okay, here's your hero number 1 stats, hero number 2 stats. No, you got to make all that shit up. Like, and it's doable, but like you have to build it, which is fucking wild to me. You know what I mean? Like, I moved to a game engine, and it's like, where's all the shit?
I just can't believe you learned it so fast, though. I mean, I was
Aaron. To be fair, like, have I learned it? No.
Well,
sir.
I mean, I don't know about that, but like your video made it seem like it was a whole ass engine. I mean,
it is a cool ass engine.
That's more than most people can do. Yeah,
you got to build all that shit out there. Like, you want a database, you got to build it out. Like, you want a fucking like battle.
Well, you
system.
and I have high standards, but I mean, it was impressive though.
It's insane, man. Like, it's wild, dude. Like, it feels like I'm like moving from Planet RPG Maker to Planet what the fuck ever. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of sad and lonely. Like, to be honest with you, like I love the community. Yeah.
Don't you have a lot more? Don't you have a lot more company?
I do. No, sir. I mean, if there's company, I don't know about it. Like, but like I haven't found a community yet. Aaron?
It's probably just I would guess it's not nearly as intimate as the RPG Maker.
It's definitely not going to be. There's no way it could be because
we're just a special breed.
Yeah, you're right. Like I don't know, man. It hurts my heart sometimes to move to Unity. To be honest, I know that sounds stupid, but like, god damn. It does hurt, like, sometimes to move.
I think it's worth doing just for someone like you to flex everything you want to flex, and then if you feel at the end of it like you're like, okay, well, a lot of that I could have just streamlined in RPG Maker, then maybe another game after that, then you could. But I have a feeling you're going to stay with it. I mean,
I'd love to flex, Aaron, but like I feel like I don't have my friends to flex with me, you know what I mean? Like 20 dudes flexing to somebody.
Really, just got to post more videos.
Sounds like my idea of a good time. We like it's, and it was also good examples of the fact that you can change engine, but you can still hang out in like the old communities. Because like I still just hang out in the RPG Maker community. I'm technically not using it anymore, but I'm using Unity. But I still love RPG Maker. I play RPG Maker games.
Benny, me and you got to get. We got to communicate more. We got to get. We got to build our own community. The Ben Cam community.
That's the one.
I'm serious, dude. I ain't even joking. Like we gotta.
Absolutely.
We gotta fucking flex on these 2K3 motherfuckers. It's wild, dude. It's so different. Benny knows. That, like, it's such a different engine, man. Like, I don't know. It hurts my heart to move away from you guys. Like, I love y'all so much. Like,
it's like you're going to a different school.
You're right, dude.
I'm gonna see you again.
Like as an 8-year-old, you're moving from state to another state. It's like, what the fuck?
And we're gonna see you at the high school football game as enemies, and we're gonna be like, oh, dude, can't believe I gotta take you out on the field.
You're like, that kid went to our elementary school. What the
fuck? Oh man, that's such a good analogy.
Any other questions for riggy2k3?
No, I think he's did the right thing moving to MZ.
Thanks, pal.
No, it's like 2K3 is limited unless you fucking break it. Like.
Yeah. Well, see, Benny didn't even say this, and I'm surprised he did not. But he didn't even mention the fact that in my game, all of the message boxes are use pictures.
Oh yeah.
So they're all transparent windows, and then pictures of just
every single one.
Oh yeah, and there's probably like 240 of them, I think.
Yeah, and they
drew them.
They're like anchored to the screen, and then he put them in all the right places, and then he'd play the game, and then he'd go, "Oh, that's a little bit off," so he'd edit the,
I think Koopa kind of did that too, right? Didn't you, Koopa? With all the text is literally a picture. Yeah, I was like, this fucker, like I was.
And then it's like
picture.
Koopa as a one-man army. Koopa as a one-man army did some magic. That's what the fuck he did.
I wanted my own font, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just do it that way."
Yeah, hell yeah,
yeah. And the thing is that then Riggy immediately went to MZ and then found a script that goes, that does this automatically. I don't have anything else to bring up. Anybody else have anything to bring up? I think this might be the end of it all.
I'm okay. Like I feel like I've made y'all's podcast experience. Hopefully, God damn, stop this.
At that point, we will conclude. I'll go through each person and then basically say, where can we find you? Anything final you want to say, and anything you'd like to plug, socials, or what you're going to do in future. Just let me know. I'll start with Blind. Where can we find you, and what would you like to talk about right now? What's your final words?
Yeah, thank you, Benny. I don't have too much to plug really besides what I've said, but I want to thank both of you guys again. Like, it was truly an honor watching like your playthrough, and it really touched me just to have my friends like play my work. So thank you again. But I'll send you the URL. You can put it in the show notes and all that. But if people want to check out my next project, they can do it. It's going to be Kickstarter probably coming toward the summer, so you can look forward to that if you want to.
I think it's going to be dope. Yeah.
So
I think it's going to be a dope thing, man. Like, he's moved from.
People are going to be surprised how many things that I've done differently. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, nice. Giznads, how about you? What's your
final
notes?
Come on. I'm going to do some cool shit. People going to want to fucking play it, I hope. And
that's the best marketing ever.
Yeah.
I'm doing some cool shit, and people going to want to play it.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
That's right.
Exactly. Go try out the
Nihilo
demo.
Right?
Yeah. Everyone go try out the Nihilo demo, Nihilo, and follow Giznads, Giznads.
Yes, right. It's Danzig backwards. You know the band Danzig? Mother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, says it backwards, man.
Wow. Yeah, just follow them on socials. They're on X or Twitter or whatever that is. And follow their projects. It's going to be awesome. Koopa, how about yourself? Final words and things that you'd like to say?
It was a pleasure chilling with the boys, discussing our projects,
yeah.
our games. I'm not really active anywhere. Really, it's just on the RPG Maker 2003 Discord, and we're probably on itch too. I do have
Represent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
look forward to Shadow Seeker in its entirety and whatever game I end up deciding to do next.
That's awesome.
That's about it.
Go play Shadow Seeker demo and then look forward to when the full thing comes out. It's awesome.
Hey, I'm gonna be playing that right after we get off this fucking stupid goddamn podcast.
Yeah, screw that
I'm
podcast.
gonna tell you what's up.
Hell yeah. Let's rebel against the podcast.
I'll send a copy to the rest of you guys.
Everybody should have a copy of this fucking game and be playing it after we get off this fucking stupid fucking podcast.
Stupid podcast. Yeah. Riggy, how about yourself for final words?
Go play Beloved Rapture. Go play Shadow Seeker. Go play Nihilo. Play Deluge and watch my video. Leave a mean comment. You can call me a slur. Sometimes people will let you do it.
Hell yeah! Some man's got it right.
Somebody, come on. You just get on the video and then get mad at me for having an opinion. And listen,
Anything.
I'll make the money and I'm gonna put it into my game, and then you can play that when that comes out. So
yeah. Buy the game. No, I'm privileged to have all of you on board. Riggy, Riggy's YouTube channel. Go and watch it and play Deluge and all these games. Thank you so much, everybody. This has been a whirlwind of a podcast. As
Benny's exhausted.
I honestly am, but in a good way. As expected, honestly, it's predictably, when we get these people together, it's chaotic, but in the best kind of ways. It's always the combination that I honestly look forward most to with RPG Maker Cola episodes, and I think right now we just exceeded our previous in terms of runtime.
And there's too much to catch up about, I guess, maybe for all of us.
I think that the thing is just testament to our growth as creators. To people, you're doing much more than you were, and you're continuing to grow into new things, and I think that's just fantastic to see. Well, we'll wrap this up. Thank you everybody for being here, and I hope listener, who has been probably the most ignored here, I hope you have a great day as well. Listener, you have come to the end of the road. You have listened to us go on and on. Keep developing awesome games. You're loved and valued. We're here to just share our experiences, and we want you to excel in your creativity and be awesome. And I hope these diatribes that we spewed out will be helpful to you in some way. But no, there's actually in reality, there's a wealth of information that has just been shared, and I'm inspired to work on my game by these incredible examples, and I hope that you are too. Keep being awesome, and cheers all. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
bye.